Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. It's exciting because we have a ton of stuff to talk about. Like, there's
Thanks, Discotek.
thanks to Discotek and Gozyuger, and there's a bunch of toy news, and I also got to review a couple things. Like, you got a huge stack, as you can see. It's like the longest show outline I've had in a while, and I even condensed all of the toy news into toy news. Um, Anyways, we got so much stuff. I think we're gonna keep the intro kind of short because I want to just kind of get into things. But of course, we got Ryan here, Dark Claw 643. Kaus has been out on errands and stuff, so he will probably join us later. But other than that, say hi. Hello.
Kaus has a thing called responsibilities.
Yes. I also have responsibilities, but that's later in the week because I don't schedule anything on Mondays. Like
I have
whenever I'm at a doctor and they're like, "You want to schedule your follow up appointment?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "What day of the week?" Anything but Monday or Tuesday.
I have a job.
Mm,
Today was a bit hectic because like not hectic in a bad way, but more of because Wednesday we have some kind of like I think one of our customers is coming in, so like our
mm.
bosses told us clean your like station areas. So like this morning when I got to
It's
work, I,
inspection time, basically.
yeah. So this morning I just had spent like 2 hours pretty much
Mm,
like clean like my workstation off, make sure it's clean. Because that's the thing about me is, so you look at my room, I'm a very much like organized person in terms of like where I put things and where I like place things and all that stuff.
yeah, for me, if you guys ever, you can't see it because of the outline. My room's always a little chaotic. Like I have my Magneto helmet surrounded by like 5 Batmobiles because I haven't
It's one
figured
of
out where to put the Batmobiles yet.
it's one of those things like like it's one of the things where like if I ever have my own house. I'm making sure my bedroom is separate from my like entertainment room, like where I
Mm.
put my figures and games and all that stuff. Because the problem with the time is the bed takes too much space.
Yep. That's why the bed's in the shot, because I can't set my computer up anywhere else in the house, and that's why I always like, "Here's my bed." I have to make my bed look nice. But yeah, no, it's always organizing stuff is tricky.
Oh, Spinash. My day's been taking care of the little one. She's sleeping on me right now.
Aw, you're starting your little one on the sound stream habit early. I love it. Master Ben, yes, I can wear the Magneto helmet. I'm just not going to do it right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it is
You sound
wearable.
you need just a case psychic attack through the data stream.
Exactly, exactly.
Hey, speaking of, welcome
Yes.
94 Kun, Dr. Grid. It's La Dorman, Jeremy Carr, Kaiju 1958, Master Ben, Mr. Nikki, Muteki T, Rivers, Spider-Man's Prime, Spin Dash, and his little one. It's actually for Jason, Tomoke, and Zeltrex. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. We got a lot of stuff to get to, so I'm just gonna jump right into good old what happened on the channel last week because
Spin
stuff
Dash,
happened.
my stream attendant is relying on her sleep schedule. I really him right now. That's the thing about having a child. Goodbye to your sleep,
Yeah,
your own sleep.
I'm definitely. I'm glad she's sleeping right now, so you can join in. So we had a couple good videos last week on the channel. There was the Ultra Galaxy Fight Blu-ray and a Jack specific Sonic roundup that did pretty dang good. Welcome, K
Well,
Master 653.
you're welcome, by the way.
Thanks again to Ryan because otherwise we wouldn't have looked at 3 Metal Sonics. We've only would have looked at 2.
True.
Welcome, Santos Celine. That video, yeah, we caught up on everything except Fang the Hunter, and then we got a little news later in the show about the next wave. But yeah, it was fun doing that.
I think
Short,
it shows. Yeah, I think
yeah,
it shows even like major gaps between Sonic videos. They still do well no matter what.
they do. Welcome, Cushy Boy. So then we also had 2 One Piece shorts. I didn't mean to do 2 One Piece shorts. But
Sure, stand out.
happens. So there was the anime heroes Mihawk. It was the Mihawk, the Three Sword Zoro, and the Dressrosa Luffy.
That Mihawk looks really nice. I didn't know it came out already.
Yeah, this Mihawk might be like one of the best. I think might be my favorite anime heroes figure ever.
I mean, it's the first BOA figure with pure inset joints. So
Yeah,
honestly, I'm hoping that means like for the like good. I mean, I like
and
BOA figures already.
they're way sturdier. This guy has no loose joints on him.
Yeah, yeah, because the Denji, had the chainsaw. Actually, no, the chainsaw on Denji had no pin. No, wait, his elbows had pins.
Yeah,
But like The Denji was really solid with his. He has inset pin knees, and
Hmm.
he was really solid there. So I'm really glad to hear.
Yeah, no,
He's
Mihawk is so good that I'm like, I don't even need a figure art. That's
I
how good
really
he
hope.
is.
I mean, I'm really hoping they take the knee like design for the
And
Dragon Ball
take it,
figures
yeah, they should take it to Dragon Ball because it's
because
so much
that
better.
because the problem with the Dragon Star knees
Hmm.
is they have double joints, but the way how it's designed, you only can really use a single joint of them.
Yeah,
And just I'm really hoping they take that design philosophy of Mihawk and Sabo and put it onto the Dragon Ball figures because it just poses better with them.
way better. Welcome LPH. Yeah, 94 can also mention the One Piece Collection 9. I got a copy off eBay. The slipcover was dented though, so like one of the copies I had a better slipcover. So I've returned.
That's the best thing. You have two. You have an extra one just in case the eBay one turns out
Yeah.
bad.
Psycho has asked if I return the others. I have returned 2 of the 3 copies. Like, I just want to tell you guys, don't buy them from Amazon because I did put 2. I was like, I'm gonna sit here and have these forever if I don't just get rid of them and get money back. So I did send them back, and I have like I still have the other copy,
As
which
an
I bought from
example,
Target as like an example. So I had, but I did keep the best case and the best slipcover, and so I put the best slipcover. So now it's settled. I just the only way until Crunchyroll actually fixes it, which I don't know if they
isn't it?
will.
How do you know that was the target one?
I actually don't know. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter. I'm just saying I returned 2 to Amazon, and I still have like I didn't return 1 to Target, so that automatically becomes the Target one. I so much of it moved around. But anyways, I got a copy that has all the correct discs. I looked on eBay, happened to find a listing. I would say if you find a seller who's selling it and it's opened already, like if it's already open and there's no pictures of the discs, like just maybe message the seller and be like, "Hey, can I see the discs? Because there's an issue
Mhm.
with some of them having the wrong discs." Um, so yeah, anyways, that just 2 One Piece shorts last week. It's just kind of how it goes sometimes. So there's that. On Wednesday there will be a Star Trek video. Because I need to review those Hia Toys figures that I got. So all right. So speaking of
Speaking of
Star Trek,
Star Trek,
all right, it's with an unfortunate heavy heart I have to say I did not enjoy Star Trek Section 31. Um,
so people who don't know,
Yes, for context, Star Trek Section 31 was started life as a proposed spin-off TV show for Discovery, focusing on Philippa Georgiou, played by Michelle Yeoh. And so that kind of like the show was in development for years, and then they eventually decided to do it as a movie once Michelle Yeoh won an Oscar because then at that point it's like she's not gonna you can't get her for a TV show at this point. She's an Oscar winner, right? So they're like, let's do a movie. And the unfortunate part here, let me just establish bias before I do the review, as always. Uh, Big Star Trek fan. I like Discovery. I like Strange New Worlds. I like Picard. I like Lower Decks. I love Prodigy. I love all the current Star Trek shows. I really do enjoy them. Um, my favorite Star Trek show is DS9, which introduced Section 31 as a concept. So, and I love Michelle Yeoh. So this movie should have worked for me.
but TLDR, what is Section 31 as someone who doesn't know Star Trek that much?
Section 31 is an organization that works as a black ops division of Starfleet, essentially. They
Oh, like
do
X Force.
kind of like X-Force. In DS9, when it was established, it kind of felt like it was a response to the Dominion War going on. That there needed to be a division that had to get the dirty work done so the Federation could still come out clean on the other side of the war. Discovery introduced it as like a open secret black ops division that does cool stuff and they're edgy and they murder people. Which I didn't really like as a reinterpretation of Section 31 as much, but I kind of rolled with it because I'm like, okay, that's what they're doing. Like I can sit here and be grumpy about it, or I can just roll with it. So this movie's kind of taking that concept, and it's also taking Giorgio into a new time period because of stuff that happened in Discovery. She went to the future and then came back from the future and came back to a new time period. So what about the movie doesn't work? Well, first of all, it doesn't feel like Star Trek. If there wasn't the Star Trek name up there and there wasn't some lip service fan service connections, um, there's not really anything that feels Star Trek about it. It doesn't have a similar tone, doesn't have a similar style. It's like completely different. It also tries so hard to be Guardians of the Galaxy, ends up being David Ayer's Suicide Squad, which is kind of a problem because David Ayer's Suicide Squad isn't great, but it also sort of lacks its own identity.
Specifically, like the edited version
Yes,
of David
the
Ayer's
one
Spy,
the only version we saw, right?
yeah, yeah, pretty much like the one. Here's the one where like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, how it was rated our movie to be more like Guardians of the Galaxy, pretty much.
There's characters that show up, get a huge exposition jump as to who they are, and then die immediately, which made you wonder, why did we spend all that time establishing who they were? So there's a lot of that stuff that I don't like. There's a lot of other elements that, like, if you watch sci-fi and you know genre stuff, you're going to be like, that's like that, and that's like that, and that's like that. But I felt like they didn't have a unique twist on any of it. Other things involved with the way I don't think it's a good movie is that it was a TV show script at one point for a whole season, and it does have it even has chapter markers to like kind of tell you where each episode is. And I didn't like that either, because I don't like when movies do that. I'd rather movies just tell the
Also,
story.
I mean, the editing of this film is ridiculous.
Yes, we'll get to that in a moment. But so from a structure perspective, it has a lot of like it feels like a compilation movie vibe, even though the TV show version doesn't exist. So think Gundam F91 or Moana 2. Which I don't like. Yeah, I don't like. I don't want to. I wanted to enjoy this. I wanted everyone to know I wanted to enjoy this. The biggest thing for me, yes, Muteki, I'll buy the physical. I've already said I'll buy the physical Secret Invasion. I like this more than that, but still, just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm not going to buy it.
And yet, you still don't have the Crisis trilogy.
I'm still waiting for a 3-pack. I
At
don't want to
this
spend.
point,
I don't want to
at
spend
this point,
$60 on Crisis.
at this point, like when the Crisis purchase came out, like it's almost
Months.
a year.
It's never happening. I know. It's just a good excuse. With Section 31, the movie may be physically ill. Welcome, Kamen Jojo, because welcome, Jamie's World. The camera direction, which includes the editing and the post production, is essentially like the movie's being like filmed on a bobblehead, where there's constant motion. You'll be looking at somebody talking, and the camera will just slide slightly, and then it comes back, and then it'll zoom in, and then it'll zoom out like halfway, and then it'll zoom in, and then it'll zoom out halfway. And then in action scenes, like someone throws a punch, and they do that YouTuber like edit digital zoom where they'll zoom right in. And
it really does feel like it was edited like a YouTube video to me. Like the clip you
yes,
showed me, it's just so like
there's some
this
clips on
doesn't look.
Trek Movies YouTube channel that you all should check out if you're interested in the movie,
It
because I
does.
think it portrays it better than the trailers.
It doesn't look like to me when I saw the clips. It didn't look like a professional movie streaming, like both like streaming and like in theaters. Like it didn't look professional at all to me.
Yeah, it looks very tacky. That's amateur. That's a good point, Mr. Tanuki. And it's not to say that the people making this didn't have talent. A lot of the people that worked on this worked on Discovery, and the director in particular did some of my favorite Discovery episodes. So I was really kind of let down by the way the film looked, and I had to pause it at some point because my head hurt for 2 reasons. One, the camera direction was giving me motion sickness, which I've never really had an issue with before. And 2, as a Star Trek fan, you know, I think people were too mean to the Acolyte for ignoring expanded canon, because this movie ignores canon to the point where it causes a plot hole. And that caused me to have to stop the movie to hash it out in my brain. And I really didn't like that, because the problem I'm having with the movie is that as a movie, I don't think it's very good. And then as a Star Trek movie, I think it's actually like almost offensive at times, because there's certain things like, and I'm not going to go into spoilers, of course. There's certain things brought up as references, but they're outdated canon references that recent Star Trek material has retconned and changed the details of.
Because if I forget, Discovery's in the Kelvin timeline.
No,
right?
it's in the Prime Universe.
Oh, it's in the Prime Universe.
And this is
Okay.
also in the Prime Universe. This takes place during the quote unquote Lost era. It's the era between the original series and the Next Generation. The original Discovery originally took place 10 years prior to the original series. Then they jumped forward to the year 3000 as part of a time travel thing. And then Giorgio gets sent back in time, but instead of getting sent back 10 years before the original series, she's sent back about 30 years before the next generation. So timeline-wise, it's about 80
Okay.
years from when she originally started, and there's some plot holes because of that.
And this is not like, because I know some people, like, one of the problems I know some Trek fans have with Discovery is like, oh, the tech's too modern if this was to take place in
I don't.
between.
Yeah, it's not the tech
Yeah, but
stuff.
that to me that's more, I feel
It's
like,
aesthetic. Yeah.
aesthetic. Yeah, that's less. Oh, continuity error. Why does this look so? That's more. Yeah, that's aesthetic. I don't
And there
think that's.
was one thing in Discovery that was canon breaking technology wise. There's two things. They had within ship transport in one episode. And the people making the show did admit that was just a mistake we made because we forgot that they couldn't do that during the TOS era. Like, it was a technological, like, they explained that they couldn't do that for many reasons. They couldn't transport someone within a ship. They had to use transporter rooms exclusively. That got cleared up. The second thing that Discovery did is they had, like, life-size holograms for people to talk to, but then they wrote it into the story that there was, like, an evil AI in Season 2 that was able to hack the holograms to get into the computers, and so then the hologram stuff was banned, and that's why we didn't see it in TOS.
Okay, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was, like, a thing they did, and then they were, like, kind of regretted it, but then they worked it into the story, right? So, I appreciate stuff like that. The unfortunate part is this movie makes similar, like, canon hiccups, but doesn't do anything to explain them. It's like, it doesn't matter, it's just there. And as a fan, that annoys me, because I kind of wish that they would have taken a little bit more care with it. And then as a viewer who's watching it, even ignoring the canon connections, it creates one massive plot hole in the movie. So all these elements combined to say Michelle Yeoh is fantastic. The part she's given is of a really horrible person who never faces consequences whatsoever and doesn't really learn any lessons. But she plays it beautifully. And the issue isn't Michelle Yeoh, and the issue isn't any of the cast. The issue is the script, the storytelling, the format, the editing, and the overall visual of the movie. And even if it didn't fit Star Trek canon, because canon's not that important, he's not like sitting there with a checklist going like, oh, this doesn't line up with this little thing from this book. Like, I don't care about, like, those minutiae. It's nice when they, are played to it, but there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense in the larger, like, context of Star Trek. And then there are other things in the movie, like a horrifically offensive Irish accent on a character not played by an Irishman.
Really? We're back in that era
We're
now?
back in that era, which even during DS9, Colm Meaney, who is Irish, playing Miles O'Brien, had, like, spoke out against this stuff and got, Star Trek to not do, like, stereotypical Irish stuff, and yet here comes a character doing, like, stereotype stuff. And a lot of the dialogue is also super...
Is it like that, "Good old top of the morning to you," kind of
Yeah,
like
it was
Irish,
like that. It was like that. And I know there was Sean Farrick at Trek Culture went on like a 14-minute segment in his review of this movie about why that's bad. And it's a good reflection of it. And then the other thing is the anachronistic dialogue. And this is something that is my probably major complaint with current Star Trek. It wasn't Scotty. Scotty's fake Scottish, but that's true. Blade Runner. The issues with bad Star Trek has never been acting. It's true. Everybody that comes into Star Trek is usually, like, putting their all in. The other thing is the anachronistic dialogue. This is something that is my nitpick with current Star Trek. Is characters will say phrases that don't make any sense for them to say. I don't know why someone from, like, the year 3000 would say signed, sealed, and delivered as, like, a turn of phrase. Like, that phrasing doesn't make any sense when, like, nobody uses paper, like, in the 2200s, like, let alone in the 3000s. And
When
there's
you're
yeah.
when you're writing a, like, a sci-fi show that's supposed to take place in the future, I feel like
Mhm.
you need to make sure to write a Bible of all, like, "Alright, so instead of paper, we have this and this and that, so when you're writing it, make sure you're writing this so make sure it lines up with what we," makes sense in terms of where we are, where the
Yeah.
series is, and all that stuff.
And there's other things, like, it can kind of, like, there's, like, some things where it's like, okay, like, if there's a common phrase from a song, we've seen that, like, just like how we still, like, interact with fiction and media and storytelling from like ancient Greece or like Shakespeare and stuff. Like people in the future in Star Trek still listen to the Beastie Boys. Like that's kind of like a normal thing. So if like there's a phrase from a song, like that would work, but then there's other phrases that just don't make any sense in any context of where they are in the timeline. And there's a bunch of that in this. And it's not a nitpick to say that it's a bad thing they did that, but it does take me out of the movie every time there's a phrase that I'm like, that doesn't actually fit the context of what we're looking at here. And so it's all those elements combined that made it really feel like as much care and attention that a lot of modern Star Trek does take to avoid these things, while also not using it to like impede on the storytelling they want to do. I just feel like it misfired in every single direction because this was kind of intended to bring in new fans, which is great. And I'm always good for that because I love that Prodigy has done that. I love that Lower Decks has done that. I've loved that Strange New Worlds has done that. And you want to make it appeal to modern audiences. But because it's so derivative of everything, if you were to watch this as your first Star Trek and you were to enjoy it, and which I really want people to enjoy things, right? Like if somebody enjoys this, I'm never gonna like, oh, Kaus is here, wonderful. If someone enjoyed this, I'm never gonna like deride them for it. But if someone, oh hi, yeah, I'm reviewing the Star Trek Section 31 movie. How's it going?
Go ahead.
All right.
I just want to know where we are.
Yeah. So the issue I have with this movie is, as an entry point for Star Trek, is that if someone watches this movie and they really like it, which I'd be glad for people to do that because a lot of hard work was put into this. If somebody watched this and they're like, oh, what Star Trek can I watch that's like this? I have no answer for them because it doesn't fit anything else in Star Trek. Even Discovery, which this is a spinoff from, is just totally different in the way that its storytelling is done, in the way the characters talk, in the way that everything is. And that, I think, is what makes this a misfire. But I also don't want Paramount to look at this as a misfire and think, oh, streaming movies for Star Trek doesn't work. Because I think streaming movies for Star Trek can work. I just think that this one was ultimately kind of a misfire in all the things it was trying to do.
I think the problem is the first streaming Star Trek movie is not your basic Star Trek, your normal Star Trek. It's a spin-off Star Trek. Like, and when I mean spin-off, I mean like not your usual ships, captains, fight aliens, explore the universe kind of Star Trek.
There's no peace or negotiation in this movie, which is kind of the thing that makes Star Trek stand out in a lot of ways, is they always try to negotiate peace before going into combat. This is a movie about characters who are just willing to shoot first, ask questions later. Which is fine in a bubble, but if it's trying to get people into Star Trek, it's not really how you get people into Star Trek.
Oh, yes, Star Trek Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah. So, anyways, Section 31, Space Suicide Squad. I didn't enjoy it.
Don't say that. So they're gonna WC's like DCW's like, we should make that. Make that.
Also, I do want to say I did watch this with my parents and my best friend came over and we watched it together.
I mean, your parents are like the origins of the Star Trek,
yes,
right?
My mom was disappointed by this movie because she loves Michelle Yeoh. She loves Michelle Yeoh playing this character, even though this character's a horrible person, right? Like we love watching her play the character. She was excited about it. We were really looking forward to it, and she was like, "I'm let down by it." She also got a headache watching the movie from the camera work, and it just wasn't it wasn't what we were hoping for. And so yeah, she didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. My friend was really mixed up. My dad was just like, "These plot holes. What is this?" My dad was more focused on the plot holes than the camera work. So we went in going to want to watch it. It wasn't like we were hate watching it anyway. We wanted to enjoy it, and we didn't. And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I had been covering this. I had been covering the trailers. I had been talking about it. We had to follow through on the final product. And sadly, it just didn't work. Which is... Yeah, Blade Raider says, I like the later season Discovery. This sounds like everything wrong with the first few seasons. Yeah, it kind of is. I think that's kind of like... I think that's why it felt like we got...
Yeah, because from what I always hear about Discovery is the first seasons were rough from what I hear, but like it got better over time.
Like once the first season hits the Mirror Universe arc, that show really gets better. And then season 2, they kind of got it back to feeling like Star Trek. And then by season 3, it just took. I love season 3 to 5 of Discovery. Season 4 is a little long, but they're filming during COVID. I understand like that one's a little messy, but I love the back half of Discovery. Like I like season 2, but I love season 3 through 5. And yeah, this did feel like a step back into like Discovery season 1 or season 2 territory. Yeah, Mr. Tricky says Paramount wants to do a mindless action against nameless goons. Why not put a Borg war somewhere in the new timeline? There's no guilt in fighting him, and it's a known enemy to capitalize on. That only works in the old context, but now that they had Picard season 1 make me feel sorry for the Borg, I don't think I feel the same anymore. Season 1 of Picard was like, all the Borg are actually victims. And then season 2 was like, yeah, the Borg Queen just makes them think that they're having pure euphoria in their brains while they're assimilated. And I'm just like, I feel bad about killing Borg now. Like, take the Borg Queen out, but everybody else is like a victim.
Is that always the case with the Borg, pretty much?
Pretty much. It was exemplified with 7 of 9, but they really went into it in Picard of like explaining like that, like basically when someone gets assimilated, they don't even know they're being assimilated. They just think they've reached pure happiness. And they have no idea that they're part of like the collective. They don't feel trapped. They like unassimilating them is when they finally realized, oh my god, I've been a mindless servant to this queen this whole time, which is fascinating and really good stuff. But
I say at least with Cybermen, your brain, you just get fully assimilated with the Cybermen.
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Tuki said, I thought that 7 was kind of an exception from Voyager's take on the Borg. Yes, no, 100%. Like, it did feel like an exception. And same thing with Hugh Borg in TNG. But Picard made it really like every Borg is a victim except for the Queen. She's like the monster. And so I think it definitely built on what was established in TNG with the Picard story, with the Hugh Borg story and stuff. Yeah, Blader says Picard season 1 is probably still the worst season of Modern Trek. I would flip-flop between Picard season 1 and season 2 as like which is the worst. I think that Picard season 1 is tonally so off that I think even though season 2 I don't think is as strongly written, I think season 2 is just more enjoyable. That being said, I still liked Picard season 1 and season 2, and I didn't like this movie, and that I think is kind of where we're at. That's why I wanted to establish I do really like the current stuff. I'm not out here just trying to hate on current Star Trek. And so for me to say that I didn't like this is a bummer. Muteki, everybody loved Picard season 3. That was when the show really like locked in. Everyone was like, yeah, this is great.
Wasn't it the final season?
It was the final season, yeah. But yeah, so that's, I think, all I got on this. Kaus, as the resident Star Trek expert that knows everything, what do you think? What do you think of what I said?
Sounds like a mess, honestly.
It sadly was.
It sounds like it shouldn't have been Star Trek, from what I've been hearing.
Yeah,
like it should like it sounds like something else, and they slapped Star Trek on it. Starship Troopers, like.
Yep.
Kaus is like, oh, that's the one. This is the film that Worf does the Power Driver, right? No, Kaus, that's the wrong franchise, the wrong series.
Yep. And the thing is, too, is like, it was funny because I didn't even realize how many things they pulled from other things until I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Trek Core's podcast, and it just started listing everything this movie pulled from, and I was just like, oh my god, it's true, it's all there. There were some. It's a shame. I really wanted to like it, and I was really looking forward to it, and it let me down.
The worst. When you really wanted to like it.
Yeah, I was really trying. I was like sitting through the early parts of it, and I was like, it's gonna get better, right? It didn't. All right, I think that's about it on section 31. Let's talk about Red Ranger Isekai for a little bit, because I watched the first 3 episodes, and I loved it.
I'll go. You get caught up. Good.
Yes.
I love the show so much.
This is like, I wasn't going into this thinking I was gonna love it, because I've not totally loved the other like Sentai like parody or illusion type homage series as much. I thought they were good for what they were. They just weren't my thing.
I think the reason why I think Red Ranger Isekai works a lot better, because this one actually feels like a legitimate Sentai. Like the other ones are parody, or parody first, Sentai second. This one feels like a Sentai first, parody second. scenario.
And that's why I think it's that earnestness that makes me really like it. You know, like it's that earnestness of like, this is Sentai. Like it's unabashedly doing Sentai stuff. It's not like,
yes,
isn't it funny how like Sentai does this? It's like, it is just like, isn't Sentai cool?
Well, yeah, because I think what makes it work, and yes, remember you got issuing on Crunchy. Is it also on Hulu? Because I'm not sure. I know Hulu.
No, it's only on Crunchyroll so far.
Okay, right. Yeah, because you have like characters like Yana, like be your like, what the hell is this? But it's but that's like, it's more of like, well, of course she's gonna act like this. This is like this Sentai tech is like super out, like never before seen in her world before. It's ridiculous, but it's not like a jab at Sentai or anything, or like the Tokusatsu tropes. It always feels like I always feel like this a fun, like it felt like it's a fun nod, not like it's like Sentai's weird, right, or something like that.
Yeah, and that's what I think. That's what it is. Like, I feel like with Love After World Domination.
Love After World Domination, yeah.
That one had kind of that vibe of like, isn't it goofy that a villain and a hero would be in love with each other?
But that's more rom-com first, Sentai, like Sentai parody second. It's a pretty much a Romeo Juliet scenario for that series.
Yeah, and the Sentai stuff gets pushed to the background, right? It's the Sentai stuff is like window dressing to a rom-com story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that with this though, it's like I watch this and I'm like, oh, I love Sentai. The people that made this love Sentai. I feel that like kinship with the creators.
Shake hands, save her.
Yes. All the stuff, like from the mecha sequence having an Akira Kushida insert song, to the fact they use the mecha in every episode. One of my biggest pet peeves is with Sentai parodies and references is when they don't go for the mecha.
They never had the mecha.
Yeah.
They never had like like World Domination, Love After World Domination. They really they talk about making a mecha, but really it's more like Go 5, like more like not Go 5, Go Ranger, where it's just vehicles and such like that. Here, like I'm glad they have a full mecha.
Yes, and they use it in every episode. Like every episode.
It shows why you can't just use the mecha everywhere. You're too big for area, or you're fighting a fly.
Mm-hmm. And so the thing that I love about this is that like they play with those tropes. They put the Red Ranger and the mecha into the fantasy setting, and then watch him try to adapt. And it's really fun because like the Red Ranger's really endearing, and so I'm like, I want to see him succeed.
I've read the manga, so
because what works
and what it works about it is the fact that like I want to see this guy succeed, and he seems overpowered at first in the fantasy world, but then he starts to realize that the rules are a little different. Like when he tries to summon the mecha inside of a cave, and it doesn't work.
Yes, I remember that.
There's not enough room.
Why I like how they did it is, yes, he's because other isekais have this kind of thing where the main character is overpowered, but like I think what works about here is he's overpowered because his technology is different from the rest of the world, but it's one of the things where he needs to also adapt to this world in terms of these things, because mostly stuff like because also like because usually with Sentai, when people debate like, Ranger versus Rider, usually the Rider is a little more powerful, because the thing about Sentai is you need the bonds and team ups and everything like that. You can't really solo as one Ranger, and then I like the show that where like in episode 3, Togo tried to take on the golems and he couldn't couldn't at all. And that's why, and that works also because that's very much a big thing in RPG fantasy stories where you have a party. So it works, the two worlds of fantasy RPG stuff and Tokusatsu Sentai merge really well. Like the main,
I'm already kind of seeing a whole team being built. Like as they introduce characters, I'm like, he found his Blue Ranger equivalent, right? Like, you'll see he's like the fantasy main character. He's like your Fire Emblem looking guy, but he also hates the red, like your usual Sentai blue and red dynamic, which is great. And such like that. And Kals, like you said, you've read the manga. So a lot of these elements I know carry from the manga, of like just the earnestness.
Yeah. Although I wish we got the Akira Kushida music.
As you open your manga volume and you turn the page, and it's just like
a lot of manga adaptations I haven't seen because I'm like I already read it, so I don't feel need to. But you mentioned that, I'm like, well, I guess I gotta
It's
watch
one of
this.
like this has the advantage. Like it's one of the things where this really shows the advantage of having an anime adaptation, so you can add stuff like that. Because it has the Kirakushia mecha theme. You have the changer and weapons have the voice coming out of it, which is also who's the voice of Doggy Kruger, by the way, in Deku Ranger. And such like that. Like that's the advantage of having anime adaptation and stuff like that. It's great.
It makes me want to read the manga for sure. Like I
No,
want to
definitely
also
same.
read the manga.
Square. This is
this.
I know Square Enix. Yeah, this is published by Square Enix in Japan, and I sadly don't think it's available in the West yet. So I'm hoping, like, after because this clearly is a success. I've seen like this is like the big anime of this season. There's in like a legacy title. I hope that means that tells Square Enix to publish the manga here in the West. I'm hoping.
It is available digitally, but I'm hoping it does. It does get a physical printing.
Yeah, I really hope.
Yeah, you can buy it digitally. I was just like, I just typed into Barnes and Noble. I was like, Red Ranger Isekai.
I gotta check my bank account. My wallet must be hurting.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, and stuff like that. And I think what I mean it's back to like how like the two mediums work well. Like I like how the main conflict of the fantasy plot of like the evil royal like jester is like magic users like using the influence of people to corrupt influence of people to get them. They sound very like a Sentai, like the villains influencing regular civilians to become like monsters for them. That's like that's more writer, but like Sentai would have that sometimes also, which I like. It blends well with the two mediums very well. And such that. And I just enjoy the cast. Like again, I think Togo is such an endearing, lovable idiot kind of character, which I like. It's just like I think. Sometimes with Sentai Reds, they get a little too obnoxious, but I think the manga found a really good balance of making him that kind of innocent, like friendship bond man, but also like being endearing. I think it helps that the other characters are like sort of reacting to him also, which I think works a lot also.
And I think that's what makes the show really fun. Like I think, legitimately speaking, because I've tried all of the Sentai homages in anime, right? I've tried all of them. This is the first one where I'm like, I'm gonna watch this entire thing to the end. I love it. I really love it.
I seen a lot of them also, and I enjoy. I really like love out the word domination, but I like, but more I like that because I'm a fan of rom-coms, like rom-com animes already. So I like that for the rom-com side. The Sentai stuff is every second. Like I legitimately love Isekai for both the fantasy stuff and the Tokusatsu tributes and stuff that, and I think that's why it works.
Master Biz says I should review Boom Moonger. I will when Boom Moonger's over. There's still like 2 more episodes.
I do. I kind of find hope.
Going.
You know what I love the hope is I hope Tamashi gets the license to make Figuarts for this anime because that'd be funny.
That'd be great. I'd be hilarious if we get more more Figuarts from this than we do on any other Sentai. It's like
it'd be the first time
Boon Red got
a long
one
time,
figure.
right?
It's like Boom Boonger, we got one figure, and then it's like Red Ranger Isekai, the entire team and the mecha.
Exactly.
Yep. You get Kisuna Red, and you just slide in with the rest of the Sentai figures.
I could. That would be really great.
I think that's another addition. Also, is like I like finally we have a Sentai tribute series that actually has an actual Sentai looking suit.
Yes, because that's also what I didn't like. What was it? Love After World Domination. Yeah, it
and not just that,
and thing too.
And not just that, but other Sentai like parodies from either like full animators or like little tribute characters. They always more inspired by Gatchaman than Sentai because they always have the open mask thing, which I find very odd.
I love the way that they do the Power Ranger comic thing where they make the visor transparent so you can see the eyes behind it. Like
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
that's
that's a good way to do it, so you can still have the expressiveness. Because you can get a lot more expressiveness in live action with a full helmet than you can in animation. So like adding in the eye flashes, I think is really cool. And it's something they did in the Power Rangers comics I really like as well.
It's one of those advantages of animation versus live action because you can't really do that in live action.
Yeah,
like
and you don't need to because you can have the subtlety of body movement, right? Whereas in animation, because the nature of 2D animation, it's a little bit stiffer than live motion. So you like, how do we get the expressiveness through? And I like that they just make the lens transparent every once in a while. It's kind of like that effect they did in X-Men '97 where like they're like, how do we get Cyclops' eyes to emote? And so they just send like a little energy blast across, like a little sheen off his visor.
I thought that was cool. That was a really cool thing. I think like the success of this, I think really shows because there's always that problem with I
Mm.
have with the Tokusatsu community, especially how they're very much don't call it Power Rangers or something like that. I think this series being this popular shows that like there's nothing wrong where your knowledge of something like this is just Power Rangers alone because I think that's the good thing because a lot of people I've seen who really enjoy this have only like seen Power Rangers once as a child or just know of its tropes and still enjoy it.
The tropes are
So
so ingrained in pop culture. It's like you kind of have to know them. Even if you're a
yeah,
Voltron kid, you know the you know the tropes, right?
yeah. So I don't. So I think that's why I don't think there's nothing wrong with calling something Power Rangers because that's I
I
always
forget
hate
I
when
forget who said it, but someone said the important part is not that something is called Power Rangers, but the earnestness of which it does it. Like where Power Rangers is like the emboldeningness of it as opposed to the mocking of it, right?
I know when someone say this looks like Power Rangers, a lot of times we'll look at this is not meant to as so many people see it as a negative thing, but it's never really a lot of time. It's just
Yeah.
it's what their brain is familiar
Well,
with.
no.
So,
Right,
what you say,
Kels?
Kels?
It's what most people know. I actually had a story like that recently at the eye doctor, where I mentioned something, and I mentioned like, oh, this series, I think it was Kamen Rider or something, or when it comes to Toku, and I just, she didn't get it when I mentioned the series. I had to say Power Rangers, and she was like, oh, okay, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's never
Well,
like it's never a
that's
negative
just
thing.
how a lot of people just understand it. It's not a
It's the same way a
Yeah.
lot of people only know anime from like Dragon Ball or Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never a negative thing. It just people will just use that. People just that familiar with it, so that's gonna be their trace back to it, and that's never meant to be a pot shot. I always hate when people treat it as a pot shot. That's them knowing. Oh, that looks like a
What
Power
it usually
exactly.
comes down to, I've seen, is insecurity within the fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Insecurity is not a good thing to have. Spin Dash says, bit of warning, either Viz got hacked or they've gone crazy. They keep tweeting about crypto stuff with their name on it.
I think
I imagine they got hacked. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's usually the case.
Yeah.
That's usually the case.
Because I don't think Shueisha's suddenly doing crypto.
Yeah, no, that's when especially when there's multiple like tweets like that. That's definitely a case where they got hacked.
Kaijin54 says, describe Ultraman as Power Rangers meets Godzilla to my coworkers who don't know Toku. That's an easy way to just connect them, right?
Like, Spin Dash, I want to ask: is that where's Viz? Is that like a YouTube?
Is that on Twitter or is it?
I'm on their Twitter. I don't see any. Hold on, let me check the replies.
Oh yeah, SSJ4 Jason. That's a good thing. I should have had in the PSAs.
Oh, Blue Sky. Is there Blue Sky?
Crunchyroll recently got hacked, so if you have an account there, change your password.
And you can't change your password.
Crap! I forgot to change.
If you can't change your password, go to the log out and hit
your password.
Forgot password.
Yeah, I had to do that because my password was on their old. Yeah, my password was on their old password rules, so it didn't recognize it as an official password when I went to go change it in the change password because that website's kind of janky. So I just did it through the forget your password thing. So.
So I don't see the Viz on Crunchyroll's hack, but I don't see Viz's Twitter's hack.
It may be their Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
Now let me check their Blue Sky. Yeah.
It's good to be aware of. I will take down. Oh, the tweet probably got deleted. Okay.
Okay, so that means it got fast.
I guess already.
All right, that's good.
I'm gonna take down Red Ranger Isekai because I think we're kind of the point of Red Ranger Isekai. Go watch it. It's great. It's really good.
You get me to want to watch it.
I do hope it gets dubbed because it'd be ridiculous. Because this is like the most popular anime right now. It'd be really stupid if Crunchyroll doesn't decide to dub it.
But it is Crunchyroll, so
yeah.
Did it ever get dubbed?
No, no dub.
No
just
dub.
only sub only.
Daima. I know. I need to talk about the thing, but I'm like, oh, Daima, you're starting a trend here.
Yep. Well, because Daima's dub finally started airing at least.
But the episode 3 comes out this week, so we're finally caught up with the theater people.
Yep. All right. Yeah. I'm glad everybody's resetting their Crunchyroll passwords. I did forget to put that in the news.
I'm doing that now.
I do think Crunchy has resolved the hack thing, thankfully. But
but it's still good to get it.
Just in case. Just in case. Reset your passwords, people.
Yep. That hack was terrifying because I saw a tweet with everybody's information that got stolen.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? Like, that was...
I didn't see mine on there, but, like, I still, like, I'm gonna change it no matter what.
Yeah, it was definitely, I was like, oh, crap, that's not good. All right. But, yeah, so, when it comes to, anime, guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about some anime on Blu-ray. That's our transition point.
I thought the first thing was Spider-Man.
Technically, yes, which is technically anime. If you want to get technical.
Oh, you get to send my Polygon pictures, right?
Yes, it's done by Polygon, and anime is just shorthand for animation, right, Cass?
Yep.
Yep.
Well,
Welcome,
for real,
Hellfire.
even Western cartoons are called anime.
Mm-hmm.
Hellfire, you only miss us discussing about Section 31 and Rainbow Isekai.
Yep, and also that Crunchyroll got hacked and Viz's Twitter's been hacked. So
Oh, was.
or was. It's still. Anyways, hacking. It's news time. So we're here at I should get an arrow for this little box over here just for fun. We're on entertainment news. There's one piece of entertainment news I felt like talking about. So Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man cartoon on Disney Plus. It's going to be releasing episodes on Wednesdays starting this Wednesday, but the schedule's kind of funky. It's a 10-episode season that's going to be released over 4 weeks. So on January 29th, it'll be episodes 1 and 2, Amazing Fantasy and The Parker Luck. Those are both comic titles, so I appreciate that. February 5th, we'll release episodes 3 through 5, which will be Secret Identity Crisis, Hitting the Big Time, which is also another comic storyline, and The Unicorn Unleashed. And then February 12th will be episodes 6 through 8, Duel with the Devil, Scorpion Rising, and Tangled Web. And then February 19th will be the 2-part season finale with Hero or Menace and If This Be My Destiny. If This Be My Destiny is also a comic storyline.
It's so weird they're burning it through, but like I think sadly because
I think they're trying to get it done before Daredevil.
that, but also I think sadly because unlike X-Men '97, I feel like Marvel or Disney's treating Spider-Man just another Spider-Man cartoon where they treat X-Men '97 as the big event. X-Men's back, people. And all
I
that.
will
And
say
like,
we have had like 4 Spider-Man shows since between the 2 X-Men shows, right? Like we've had a lot of Spider-Mans.
We're talking about like in between
Wolverine, the X-Men, and X-Men '97.
Yeah, well, totally Spectacular Air alongside Wolverine. But
Yeah,
so we had Spectacular Ultimate 2017,
and Spidey.
Spidey
Amazing Friends, and then this. We've had a lot of Spider-Man, so I think they're kind of. It was, and we've also had how many Spider-Man movies in recent years? Like Spider-Man didn't go away the way X-Men did, right?
I think it was to do well. It's Spider-Man.
It's going to do well. I think that's the thing Disney's looking at.
what.
It's going to do well because it's Spider-Man. They don't need to push it as hard as they had to push the big return of X-Men, right?
Yeah,
It's also not a nostalgia play, so yeah.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. No matter what, Spider-Man's going to do well.
I've heard good things about this from people that have seen it. I'm going to check it out. I will say, with the schedule being this kind of weird thing, I'll watch the first 2 on Wednesday, and if I really like it, I'll watch the rest as they come out. But if I'm like kind of medium on it, I'll just watch it all when it's done, since it's just so condensed.
Common General Spectacular's never coming back at this point. Like
I don't think legally it can.
Like not even comic. I just don't think they can touch Spectacular. Like the reason why Spectacular was in Spider-Verse because that was Sony. But like I love it's not like with the whole Spectacular thing. I like say Young Justice. Young Justice could come back because it's always just WB. WB and DC.
Sony owns Spectacular, but they don't own the rights to make an animated Spider-Man TV show.
Yeah, they can do movies when that, but not TV shows. And I don't think they want to do a Spectacular movie because look, as much as people love Spectacular, I don't think there's any big profits to make a Spectacular movie and such like that. And direct to DVDs or films are dead.
Yeah. And so, anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, Blade Raider. I agree with Blade Raider. This is silly. Do weekly or all at once. In between is making no happy. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to do it this way. There is a possibility that 3, 4, and 5 are an arc, and 6, 7, and 8 are an arc. But the titles kind of make it seem like it's episodic. So we'll see. We'll see.
I think also because I think this show probably will be the usual 22 minutes. Again, I think unlike X-Men, this is definitely more aiming for a family audience than I mean, technically X-Men can be family, but
X-Men was a TV-14 though.
It's a TV-14. This is definitely a Y12, at least a 12 age rating for this show. But like I imagine the reason why they're airing like this, because I imagine it's 22 minutes, but like I imagine you combine all the batches together. It's like it makes up the usual 45-minute.
Yeah.
45 something, like an hour. Hour pretty much.
And I do think they are, because this year's schedule is so packed with Marvel shows. I think they wanted to give it a few weeks to be out, not just do it all at once. but they want to make sure it's done before Daredevil, because once Daredevil comes out, it's going to eclipse this show completely. So it kind of gives it its own space this way. I do think they could have just dropped it all at once, though, because they gave the press the entire episode list. So, like, the press got to see all the episodes, so it's not like they're trying to hide spoilers.
No,
yeah.
Soul Man, the actor playing Spider-Man in this show is the same actor who played in What If.
Yeah, it's a different guy than it's not you.
Because again, because Predator was sort of meant to be an MCU adjacent, but now at this point it's just separate. But they're still using Tom
MCU
Holland,
actors.
Tom Holland Spider-Man as a basis. You know, it's not Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And the actor, I like his voice for Spidey from both What If and my scene clips of this show. I think he's a good young Spidey.
It also is going to have Duel with the Devil, episode 6. That's the Daredevil episode. I can almost guarantee.
I seen. I think they show a picture of Daredevil in the show.
Yeah.
He looks so good.
And Charlie Cox is voicing him, so
I'm happy because we saw a picture of there was a pic of Otto. This show. He has his classic blockhead.
Mm-hmm.
His head's just a square. I love it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I want to see it. I hope it's good. And I guess we'll talk about it next week, because I'll watch at least the first 2. And then we'll see from there. It's nice to get another Spider-Man show, and I think vibe wise in the reviews have got me kind of going, yeah, this probably would be good.
I have good faith in the show because a lot of people who work on Owl House are on this show, and
that's
I
good.
love Owl House, so I'm really looking forward to the show. Right. I feel like some of you, I saw the stupid video like the downfall of Spider-Man cartoons, and had like very new Spider-Man the downfall. Like the show's not even out yet.
Yeah, you can't say the downfall when the show hasn't premiered. Yeah.
That's
I get you're not a fan of animated style. That's fine, but still, like, just wait. Like, maybe judge it before
the only thing I do judge, and I understand it from a perspective of budget and animation and stuff. There's one clip of like Peter and Nico meeting, and if you look at the background, every character is frozen in mid-step.
yeah, that's the classic case of you save money, you save rendering money, so don't just.
They're like, focus on the characters. Don't worry about the background. They're just kind of. It's just one of those weird things, but that's like the oldest animation trick in the book, right?
Yeah. Also, yes, Celtic, one of the Cracker Creek staff writers, is on the show. So again, I love because I think I like Ultimate Spider-Man. And I think Marvel Spider-Man 2017 is a better show. I think a lot of people say it is. Even with its flaws, but like I think a lot of the Marvel Disney XD Marvel shows have a biggest issue is a lot of mandates and not having fresh writers, because a lot of the writers on the Disney XD Marvel shows are a lot of the same writers that work on the DC shows and a lot of, like, superhero man and action shows, and they're good writers, but like there's so much you can really do with like 20 superhero plots, so it's good to, and I think that was always the fault of the Disney XD shows, and I don't think they're awful. Because again, I rewatched them recently. I think they're fine, just not the greatest. So
I still need to watch that Guardian show.
But I think for New Hood, there's a lot of fresh writers on this show, so I think there's definitely gonna be some nice creative freshness compared to the Disney XD era Marvel cartoons.
All right, Cal, you got any final thoughts on Spider-Man before we move on?
No, I just hope to watch it so I can judge it for myself.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to do it.
I don't like listening to people like already writing it off. Like, let me
that's
watch.
why I didn't like listening to people of Section 31 that were like writing it off, and then like I was like, no, I'm gonna watch this and make my own opinion, and I didn't like it, and that happens, right? But like, I want to see this, and
but at least it's your opinion and not
exactly. It's a very important thing in this day and age to have your own opinions. Not to ever like not listen to other people's opinions, but to not like immediately absorb someone else's opinion.
Unless it's one of those hate speech people.
Yeah, but it's always good to like make your own judgments on things for sure. All right, let's talk about Blu-rays. First up, here is the Scream Factory, Shout Factory movie releases for April. We'll just kind of go through these a little quick because I just want to get to Discotek. We've got Jean-Claude Van Damme's Time Cop coming to 4K. Which is pretty cool.
You ever seen it all?
I have never seen it in full.
Oh, you should.
Is this is this Street Fighter 2010, but it's Giles the main character?
Yes. I don't know. What do you think, House?
I love that movie. The ending's wild. The way they get the bad guy.
I'm gonna put that on my list. I've been trying to make a list of movies to watch because when I was looking at my movies from last year, I did so many franchise movies, and I didn't like do as many
Even if
like
it's standalone.
non-franchise stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it better now. So
Like I have this list right now I'm building up of like movies that I'm like cuz like it was like I just want to get out of my wheelhouse a little bit. I've been watching some movies with my mom recently like I'm just stalling while I type out Time Cop on a list. I watched this movie called Anti-Mame from like the 50s and it's fantastic and I'm like I never had seen it in full. I just only heard about it and I'm like I should
I
do
also
that more.
love. I also love the blurb. They killed his wife 10 years ago. There's still time to save her. Time
Yes.
cop. Murderers forever. Into now.
That
I hate
reminds
this
me of
blurb.
like flashback from Silverhawks, the Silverhawk who can travel through time with no consequence.
I miss blurbs. I miss like poster blurbs like that
Yes.
so much.
All right, we've also got Sorority House Massacre Collector's Edition 4K. God, sometimes the things I read on the stream for the first time, I don't pay attention to like
I
what's
got
in
called away.
these.
What was it? 4K?
Sorority House Massacre Collector's Edition.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Survive the final exam. A
I
slash
think I
force
heard of that.
absolute terror.
hey AR. We've also got where is it? The Hunt on 4K.
This movie.
Um,
This one's fun. Fun.
yeah.
Pretty much, it's pretty much a Hunger Games like, but it was like, pretty much a commentary on the political space. Pretty much like, oh, you disagree with me, I'll kill you. Pretty much, kind of
Hmm.
like fun film. It's a very fun movie.
We've got Renfield Collector's Edition 4K. I saw that movie. That movie's
Yeah,
weird.
I forget. Do you dislike? I know a lot of people don't like it. Do you dislike this one? Or I was like, okay.
The first 5 minutes are one of the coolest things I've ever seen done with Dracula in the modern era. And then the rest of the movie's a wash for me. I
The one is
enjoy
Nick Cage.
how kind of stupid it is, but I did not enjoy it as like I can't say I loved it. I really loved the first 5 minutes though.
Is it one of those cases where Nick Cage is the best part of the film scenario?
Yes, and he's not the main character. He is in a supporting role, and so when he's on screen, it's great. But when he's not, I don't know. That's a movie about like Renfield. Dracula's familiar, and he's like, I'm leaving Dracula because I realize I've been abused by him all these years. And I was like, okay, cool. Why is this movie about a gang war? Also, it was produced by Robert Kirkman and Skybound.
Wait, really?
Yeah! And I always forget it, but it's right here. Renfield is produced by Skybound Entertainment partners Robert Kirkman and David Alpert. Why? I have no idea.
I didn't know they made movies. Like I know, like they probably have involvement with like the Invincible series, but like I didn't
Yeah.
know they do like movies. Okay.
94 Kun, great question. For the modern Dracula movies, which film adaptations do you like the best? Okay. I forgot about the welcome mat. Sorry, Blade Raider reminded me. There's this great welcome mat joke in this movie. Because you know how you have to welcome a vampire into your home?
Yeah.
And Renfield has a welcome mat and Dracula just walks right in. He's like, but I didn't welcome you in. Let's look at the mat. Of modern Dracula movies, I will say I struggle with a lot of them. Muteki Van Helsing, I guess, would count as a modern Dracula movie, and I think that's probably my favorite. It's also a Frankenstein movie and a Wolfman movie.
That movie has horrible CG, but man, it has charm.
It has the same charm as the 1999 Mummy. It just came at a time when people were tired of that type of movie.
I mean, same director, right?
Same director, yeah. It has that same vibe, and like the reasons why people love the 1999 Mummy is the same reason people would love Van Helsing. It's just when it came out, people were tired of that kind of movie. But like going back on it now, I'm like, oh, this is actually great.
Actually, because I don't think we don't talk about because we never mentioned it. But I'm actually curious, especially with your mom's love of these kind of movies.
Yeah.
What do you think the Hotel Transylvania movies?
I watched the first one and liked it, and I've always meant to go back and watch the others. My mom's seen all of them; she loves those. I like it. I like the adaptation of Dracula in those. Kaiju 1954. What about Eggers Nosferatu? Amazing movie. I never want to watch it again because it creeped me the hell out, but it was amazing.
It's also horny, right?
So horny. They were like, oh, remember how like people talk about the metaphor of a vampire drinking your blood is like sex? Well, what if that was the text instead of the subtext?
Isn't there a werewolf? Isn't there like a Wolfman coming out this month?
It already came out, and I heard that there's very little Wolfman in the movie titled Wolfman.
It's a January film, so I expect it to be bad.
Yeah, I didn't go see it. I do. Am I going to see the extended cut when it comes out? Probably not, because I did enjoy watching Nosferatu, but I was like in a theater and I was having like a psychological like thing where I was like, it was a 9:45 screening, and I was a little tired, and I
Oh, so
started
it's
to
pretty
nod
late.
off. But because Nosferatu can enter your dreams, I was like, don't fall asleep. He's gonna get to you. It just had me on edge for the rest of the movie. It was
Have you
great.
seen Eggers' other films?
I haven't seen any of his other movies, but I'm tempted to watch them now.
I recommend The Lighthouse. If you just want to see Robert
I'm scared of
Pattinson,
lighthouses.
you want to see Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe speak seaman language to each other. It's a
That
great
sounds
movie.
that sounds great. I know Eggers' next movie is a werewolf movie set in medieval London, and I'm like, sign me up, I'm right there. I'll go watch that.
Eggers is a great film director.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to watch Nosferatu when it hits like home media.
Mhm. Yeah, Mr. Dookie said the bride's flying sequence in Van Helsing is really good and holds up well. Yeah, that sequence is amazing. Blade Raider says, you may have convinced me to watch the 90s Mummy. You should, and you should watch Mummy's
Yes.
Return, and then you can stop there.
Do you know?
That's really all you need to watch. Yeah.
Don't worry about
yes,
the third
I
one.
love-
Don't worry
I
about the
love
Scorpion
90s
King
Yeah.
six-tuplet movie. Like,
There's a whole rabbit hole of Scorpion.
You ever see? Oh, the cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Watch the cartoon. I
cartoon's
guess.
fun. I like the
cartoon.
cartoon, yeah.
Isn't the cartoon like Jackie Chan?
I had
Adventures?
toys.
Yes.
It pretty much is Jackie
Pretty much,
Chan
yeah.
Adventures. Yeah.
And then the kid has like a MacGuffin like bracelet that's that made
Yep.
it a great toy, yeah. Yeah, no, it's a whole thing. Yeah, LP actually just said about the cartoon.
Wait,
Smith the Crow
Well.
said, "EU cars." Robert Eggers probably. Yep. I think he said he's like, I'd rather die than film a cell phone. And I'm like, I can appreciate that. What about
Right,
the Mummy where Tom Cruise runs from sand? No.
Okay,
Just no.
next movie.
Next movie. Please don't destroy the treasure of Foggy Mountain.
This cover, this cover looks like a YouTube movie to me. I don't know why.
John Goodman narrates the adventures of Ben, Martin, and John, three childhood friends turned deadbeat co-workers who fend off hairless bears, desperate park rangers, played by Meg Staller and Ex Mayo, and a hypocritical cult leader, Bowen Yang. Oh, it's got a bunch of Saturday Night Live people in it.
Sounds like when it was like Harold
And Conan
Kumar.
O'Brien's in it.
It sounds like one of those like Harold Kumar drug ship films, just like that.
It kind of does. Oh yes, AR summed up it perfectly. The Mummy was great because it had that Indiana Jones feel in a time where the franchise was done. Yes, that's why I love those so much. It has that same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
94 Coon, thoughts on the last Voyage of the Year? I still haven't seen it because it never hit streaming. I know Shout's doing a 4K of it. I might just pull the pin and just buy it and watch it because I want to see Dracula on a boat. Anyways, we also have Summer Wars where the Blu-ray is getting reissued and there's going to be a 4K Steelbook
yes.
edition.
Digimon, but not
Digimon Our War Game back again.
Yep.
As a
legit.
matter of- this was Funimation, then now it's G Kids, pretty much,
Yes,
right?
it's now G Kids, which means Shout's doing the physical disc for it. And
I kind of wish
yeah.
the 4K was in the steelbook, but I might grab the 4K because this film. I do want to see this film in like glorious like HD, pretty
Mhm.
much.
I've heard good things about it too. I've never actually
You
seen
haven't
it.
seen it. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. I thought you.
I know
would.
you think I would watch the Digimon Adventure Our War Game remake, but I should see it because I like that director. So that's the only thing. I get wrapped up in franchises because of work, right? So I just kind of forget to go like off and do other things. Like I want to watch the Robbie Williams biopic where he's a monkey because I'm like I saw the one dance number from it and I'm like now I'm kind of like I really want to see this and I'm like Paramount, can you put it on your service already? Anyways, moving on. Undead Unluck is coming to Blu-ray in a limited edition from Viz. This is the anime that
This is the complete. It's complete for a season. 'Cause
Yeah.
I thought they're gonna release like a part 1, part 2, but I think they only did that digitally. So I'm kind of glad it's all at one. All in
there's
one.
no standard release yet from what I could tell. I think it's just the limited to start, but
I might pre-order
Yeah.
because the manga just ended.
no, it ended before I could get to it.
It was so beautiful. It made me cry. I was like ugly
Mhm.
crying reading it. It was such a.
I saw the art you posted on your Blue Sky.
Oh yeah, I
it.
posted
Yeah.
art. But yeah, it made me cry. I was like ugly crying because it was so like happy. The ending it was like it's one of the best manga endings I've seen.
I'm looking
seen in a
forward to
while.
reading it. Especially now that it's wrapped up, I can feel like I can read it at my own pace and stuff.
That's good. I only read the first chapter of it. You know that I actually did. I don't know why I didn't keep going because it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets better. Like I know some people didn't like chapter 1, but like it gets so much better after the first few chapters.
I'm definitely going to read it. I have 137 chapters left of One Piece to be caught up. and then
I do say
I'm on my
I
way.
would say wish the slip imagine it's the slip cover. I wish it didn't just have Andy. It should be Andy Fuku. It's a dual series. It's like it's not just Andy Samantha. It's
Yeah,
Andy Fuku. Damn
maybe
it!
maybe she's on the back.
I hope
Yeah.
because yeah I hope that's the case.
Also, random Sonic 3 update I didn't include in the news. There's 2 steelbooks out there now.
They're doing a Pokemon.
Already, huh?
They're doing a Wolverine. Deadpool. Like everyone wants to
Yeah.
be Pokemon now.
The Sonic Steelbook's going to
Like
be at
Pokemon.
multiple retailers. The Shadow Steelbook is exclusive to Amazon. I think the Shadow Steelbook looks better. I'm not buying 2 this time. I'm just buying Shadow. Put my stick in the ground. I'm not doing that again. So yeah. But yeah, by the way, I have reached 1,000 chapters of One Piece. It has been officially the longest comic book I've ever read in my life, but like now it's 100%.
Wait, have you finished? Wano?
No, I got 57 chapters left.
I keep forgetting how long
It's
Wano.
so long, but it's not like Great Ninja War long, so I'm cool with it. But yeah. Anyways, speaking of One Piece,
Have you got to Gear 5 yet?
I haven't gotten to Gear 5 yet. That's at chapter 1044. I'm close. I'm gonna get my Gear 5 Figuart in the mail before I get to the chapter.
Wait, I don't because if you're how many chapters you have left? 300?
137.
137.
Because we're on 1,137 now. So
how many chapters left of Wano you have left?
57.
Okay, so Egghead's still like long, but
Yeah.
not. Cause I know Egghead just included. I think.
Yeah, it concluded a little while ago. Egghead's not as long as Wano.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm at the 1,000th chapter mark though. That's an accomplishment. So speaking of getting towards 1,000, One Piece Collection 37 is coming out in April. This will be episodes. Where is it at? 892 to 916. So this is officially the Wano arc has started in the collection sets. This is of course collecting 2 Voyage volumes into a collection.
I'm glad. I'm glad because they haven't produced any home media for One Piece for a while, and then I know ever since Netflix One Piece came out, they Crunchy started it back up again, which like that's nice.
Yeah,
finally.
and I know Collection 36 comes out in February. The second volume for this is March, and then this is April. So then I think it's gonna the first volume. It was the first volume of 38 comes out in March. So I think they're kind of just alternate, and there'll be like volume collection, and then just kind of keep going because they got a lot to catch up on because they've dubbed all the way through the first part of Egghead.
Yeah, because I think are they fully caught up yet or not yet for the dub?
They're very close to being caught up. The most recent, actually, let me just pull up the One Piece wiki page real quick because it had like a really nice guide.
I'm curious how they're gonna do. Was it the remaster? What do they call it? The remaster of Fishman Island or whatever?
I feel like it could just be a standalone set.
Just like probably not a part of the collections, but like probably like One Piece Egghead Island remaster set.
Or the Fishman Island remaster, yeah.
Fishman Island remaster set because it's only like 25 episodes. Like, it's only gonna be like 25 episodes, right?
20
episodes. Yeah, that could just easily be one set easily.
Mr. Doogie says, I'm putting some cash aside to go on a rampage buying these collections. No way I'll be watching anytime soon. Yeah, for me, I'm just going to, like, buy up all the collections, and then when I feel like watching One Piece, I'll watch it, because I've already read the manga.
The price is not bad. I just see, like, $28. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Versus, I mean, like, I tell you, Undead Lucky's a limited edition thing, but who's it? But, like, that's 70.
Yeah. Looking here, so they're up to episode 1,108 in the dub. As of January 21st, because they released the collection, the digital releases are done in the voyages, so we can kind of look ahead and see how the Blu-rays will be done. They've also started dubbing the recap episodes for the Wano recap episodes, so those will be included. So we're at the most recent voyage in March is episodes 917 to 928. So that's the first half of collection 38. So I think they're just gonna be moving them along pretty quick. But yeah, $30 for 26 episodes, dual audio, Blu-ray and DVD. Like, I appreciate how the One Piece collections are affordable, and then they also go on sale frequently.
Let's rip the band. Time to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yep. All right, Discotek time. Let's do this. Santos Celine, the best way to change your password on Crunchyroll is to go into the login page and then click forget your password. And then you can just reset it that way. That's the way I've done it. All right, Discotek time. They had a stream. It got taken down in the middle of the stream by...
did Toei get them again?
It wasn't Toei this time.
It was Arthur
Yep.
and the Knights of Justice.
Arthur and the Knights of
The Knights
Justice were
of
like,
Justice.
lawsuit for you, slap, and the stream was dead.
And then came back.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's see, what do we got here? All right, so first of all, this was the first announcement, and this blew my mind because I love this one. It is Cyborg 009 versus Devilman. They started playing the clip, and I was eating dinner because these things always happen at dinner.
Yep.
My
That's
dinner,
why you weren't with us.
my dinner went
It was
cold.
me and Wheels were streaming it.
Yeah, that's right. You guys were streaming it. I was eating dinner. My dinner went cold because I was about to take a bite, and then I saw the first part of the clip that they were playing to start the stream, and I just sat there holding the fork with the food, staring at the TV, not making any sound because I realized that I was going to get my favorite animated appearance of Devilman. And it took me until he turned into Devilman for me to actually say something because I was so stunned.
For real. I'm imagining you with your fork just sitting there for like 2 hours.
I can't even Psychos, what was the dinner? The dinner was me getting Cyborg 009 versus Devilman on Blu-ray.
It's free from Netflix jail, as they submit.
Yeah, I'm hoping more things get free from Netflix jail.
And the best part too is they got the Netflix dub.
Yeah, if you don't know, people, the reason why they specifically had to say that because sometimes Netflix dubs appear too expensive to license out.
It happened with Sentai licensed a show, and they found out they found out what the price was to get the dub from Netflix, and realized they could hire the same actors and redub it.
No, not same actors.
Or different actors, yeah. They could redub it for less than it would cost to get the dub.
Which is kind of baffling. It's like, my God.
And so during the stream, someone asked, "How'd you get the dub?" And they said, "We paid for it." Yeah, it was Baki. That's right. It was Baki that did it.
Baki and Karaguri, I think was the other show. I know if Sentai got the Bastard recently, so I'm curious if that also got redubbed also for that set.
Smith the Crow says, "Do you think the best Devilman adaptations are ones that don't follow the manga?" All right, so here's my thing. I don't think a single Devilman adaptation has followed the manga. And one of the thing is, they hit a lot of the main points, but they never adapt the arc where they go back in time and save Joan of Arc from demons.
Yeah.
They miss the goofiness.
Like the closest is Crybaby, but even then it's very much his own thing at the same time.
Yeah, it's also its own thing. It's modern set. It's all that. So the thing with this is I really like this adaptation of Devilman because I feel like it has all the elements of the character without trying to reinvent the wheel. Right? It doesn't have the Toei Devilman kind of reinvention. It's not overly unapproachable like Crybaby is like incredibly adult. It's like a really good meet in the middle kind of thing.
This Devilman from what I see, because I haven't seen this yet, but this Devilman from what I see, it looks like a really good merger of a lot of aspects.
Yes.
Different, it has like the edge of the classic manga and Crybaby, but also has some of the heroism of the Toei series. But so it's a really good merger, which I think is the best element when you merge all the elements in one. Because Toei Devilman can be too goofy, Crybaby in the original manga can be a little too edge or a little too
the 90s OVAs are very edge.
Yeah.
Especially with that dub. The old manga UK dub makes those OVAs really funny.
All the swears and all the swears.
The way they
oh my goodness.
The way those specials drop F-bombs is so funny. So it's one of those things where that's what I love about this special is I feel like it had like a really good adaptation of Devilman. And then to top it all off, it's a sequel to Cyborg 009, The Future Soldier, the 2001 anime that everyone loves. It's the same director.
I should really get... I've been meaning to get more into Cyborg 09, because this one is like Legendary Ishimori.
It's my first anime ever.
It's hard to get into because of availability is the nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. Discotek released a 2001 anime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I'll probably just order that and get it there, watch it there.
And they painstakingly restored the dub on that by finding.
I know the history of that dub. It was lost.
But this is a sequel. It's not an official sequel, but it is like a pseudo sequel because it's the same director. All of the cyborgs are based like on how they looked in that show. It is really, really cool, and I love. This is like one of my favorite OVAs ever made. Because I love the way they adapted Devilman, and I love that they continued Cyborg 009 the way they continued it from that other show, because I think that's probably my favorite Cyborg 009 adaptation is the 2000s anime. So I'm so
Anyways,
happy
next-
it's coming to disc, because when it left
Alright,
Netflix, I was sad because I was like, oh, it was really easy to watch there.
All right, let's get.
Yeah,
let's
we
get
should
to
get
the
moving.
next thing.
Okay, Blade Raider says this is in reference to the Devilman time travel arc, kills the pacing and spoils the plot twist. It's a good cut. Oh, I agree. I'm just saying that unless the time travel arc is adapted, there's no faithful adaptation of the manga. I'm picky.
So,
All right, Angel Heart.
Hearts.
I never knew this existed.
I
Oh,
can.
Today.
I actually did.
Tell me more, Jerry.
No,
Go for it.
Also,
it's
I mean,
an
I
alternate
read
universe.
the City Hunter, which is like
Yes.
what?
That's
Yeah,
why
it's an alternate universe. The City Hunter.
I'm contractually obligated to buy it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you have every other City Hunter, don't you?
Yeah.
I
no,
remember
they
reading
do.
about it like a couple of years ago, so I'm glad to see this.
Yeah, and I didn't even know it ran 50 episodes too. It's a pretty good run. I'm looking forward to this. I never heard of it before, but then of course I hear alternate universe sequel to City Hunter, and I'm in. You know.
Yeah, there is a Rio Saiba in there still, so.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to check
Matter
that
of fact, I'll show you the cast. In a group picture, and you'll see Rio among
probably-
them.
Probably
Yeah,
best to do it.
there it is.
After, do
Yeah,
it
we'll
after.
do that after. I'll look at it after the stream just because we're
Yeah.
we're just moving along.
Osamatsu-kun.
Mr. Tanuki said the loop on to Cat's Eye to City Hunter pipeline goes longer. It's all there.
All right, Atamatsu-kun. So
Classic
this is the
ancient
Super
anime.
popular in
It's-
Japan. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
because there was a modern remake that was really popular that came
Yep.
out in 2010. So this is the original series.
It's been around for a while, yeah.
If people are wondering why does the designs look familiar, it's the same creator Storyman. That's
Yeah.
why.
That makes sense. 86 episodes standard definition Blu-ray is pretty great.
Mhm.
I like that it's all in one. They didn't have to split it. Flame of Rekka. Anybody got this one? I don't know what this is.
This looks like this reminds.
Flame
I don't
of
know. What,
Rekka. I-
oh, Cal's time.
Cat's
Really?
Eye.
Oh, okay. So here's a funny story. You know how I gaslit Wheels about Kakaishi?
Yes.
I also did it with Flame of Rekka.
So you just told him you never watched it, but you actually had?
Yep.
That's pretty great. The nice
It's a
part
good
does have
action
the
anime, yeah.
it does have the ocean dub, so that's pretty nice.
I look at this.
Dr. Great asked
I
if
don't-
this was on Toonami. Was this on Toonami?
I don't remember it being on
I
Toonami.
don't think so.
It might be like Rama, where it's probably VHS land. Probably, I won't be surprised.
Pretty nice. That's also SD Blu-ray.
It's
Cobra special yellow dubbed version. All right, so long story
This is-
short, manga video like produced a dub with the band Yellow's. I keep wanting to call them Yellow for some reason. Yellow's soundtrack, and so they had to have a special arrangement. They worked with Yellow. They worked with people that worked at Manga Video to get all of it cleared up because this version is edited differently, so it couldn't be included as an alternate audio track with the regular Space
Yeah,
Adventure Cobra.
It has to do with it being PAL,
Yes.
different frame rate.
It's so
How
weird
frame
'cause,
rates?
Yeah, it's in English because the 25 frames per which I didn't know that was a date for dubbing, which might make sense because
Yeah.
flip flats. Because I'm so used to hearing PAL versions for video games and such like that, so I
Mhm.
didn't
Yeah,
know.
me too. Yeah, usually.
Yeah, so I did. So yeah, but now thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense because of the whole flip flap thing. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, because of that, they have a special release. They're calling this the second special fan disc after the Reborn. Special fan disc was like, what if we
Oh, that's
dubbed an
cool.
episode? This is a, hey, you want that version of Cobra? Here you go. It's an HD now.
Mhm.
I think it's really cool. All right,
All right, Lupin.
Lupin. So this is the second live action Lupin movie. Discotek had released the first one before. The first one was like in the 70s, I think. They had released that on DVD before, but this is the first time this come over. This is the 2014 movie. This is interesting because this movie is a mixed dialogue by default, where all of the Japanese actors say a bunch of their dialogue in English. And then they later went back and dubbed it into Japanese. And so it includes both audio options. And a lot of people agree that the Japanese dub is better because it runs smoother with the actors not really like stumbling over the English dialogue. So it technically includes an English dub that it's a mixed language dub, but that's the original.
Is it tailored to Japanese the dub since they had to dub over?
Yes, it is a
themselves?
Japanese dub. Yes, because they had to do it. Yeah. So it has both versions. It has an anti-piracy warning for movie theaters that was done with the Lupin characters. And I have actually never seen this, and I kind of want to watch it because it looked really good. I'm contractually obligated to buy it, so of course I should watch it.
Does Lupin at Kyle Ken? 'Cause he's like radiating, radiating on
Yes,
the cover.
that's how he steals things so quick. Kaioken times 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's interesting. Live action adaptations are always a little bit hit or miss.
No Digimon. No Digimon updates in terms of the
Yes.
next release. But
Oh,
they
in
did
terms of
say-
Lupin, someone in the chat, Santos Lean said I thought they were done with Lupin. They're not. They've done all the specials, but there's 5 that haven't been HD. We don't have a Blu-ray of Lupin Part 2, and there's a bunch of other little weird things like this. That
Well, why did Discotek release the PS2? Release the PS2 game.
that'd be hilarious. All right, no Digimon update. They were just like, oh my god, it's #1, which we know.
Which is really great.
The views on my review of it tell me yes, it's #1. All right, Highlander the animated series. Someone that knows Highlander, step in.
Oh, they got.
I was expecting Wheels to appear just out of nowhere.
I know. Kels, are you old enough to remember Highlander?
I don't.
Damn it, Kels is not here. I know of Highlander because one of those.
I know
like,
of it, and I know all the stuff that Wheels tells me about.
I didn't realize I was
there
being-
you
Oh, you're good.
There you
Okay,
go.
good. So you know Highlander.
No, I'm not much help. I love Highlander, but I never seen the cartoon.
Because Highlander.
I didn't even know there was a cartoon. Okay.
I knew
I
about it.
knew of it, but
Yeah,
I never. I watched the live action show, and all the movies, including the horrible second one that I don't want to remember exists.
It's on. There can only be one SD Blu-ray disc.
Yeah, so like
I get that joke.
So like, because Highlander is one of those films that is well known for his beheadings, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It's why it's one like I know this shit because one of those classic like this R-rated movie got cartoons like RoboCop and Rambo and stuff like that.
Can we get a RoboCop and RoboCop Alpha directed from Discotek?
I used to watch the Rambo cartoon before going to school.
Great way to
And I
start your
remember being
day, right?
Wow.
The Rambo cartoon I think is the most.
Oh, it's Starship Troopers, which is based off the R-rated movie. That also had a 3D cartoon.
Yeah,
Let's watch that too.
because like RoboCop I was saying a cartoon because it's in the title RoboCop. That's easy to make into a kid's thing. But Rambo.
Yeah. All right. King Arthur and the Knights of Copyright Claims. Yeah, for some reason, while they were playing the clip for this, the stream got axed.
This is one of those like 90s, 80s cartoons I know of, but I've never seen. But the theme song is like
the theme song
banger.
slaps.
That theme song, I love it. That's
such-
probably the best thing about the show, though.
Yeah, I imagine it's one of those shows where the theme song goes hard, but the show itself is okay. Yeah. All right, next up, Stone Protectors. Pixel Dan had a happy party, I'm sure, because he loves Stone Protectors.
I actually remember this show.
I didn't know I had a cartoon. I knew I had a toy.
I actually remember the cartoon and the toys, but growing up, I actually prefer the regular Trolls dolls. I never liked the Stone Protectors.
These things are hideous. These things are hideous. It's
I actually liked just the regular Trolls. I didn't. care
Also,
for
the
those.
theme song is so lengthy, like it never ends.
Oh my
so
goodness!
lame. And also they basically said, so they clean up. The masters were very bad shape. We did our best to fix them. I have a tweet as an example of what they really mean, of an example of what they could mean. Turns out I'm mad how bad the master is. I post the link to this tweet, this Blue Sky tweets, and you want?
Oh god, the Captain and Masters. Yeah, okay, hold on.
Yeah. You want to put that in
Nuts.
stream?
I saw that yesterday. I was like, "What?"
Put that in stream
Yes.
so people know what
DVD versus original film negatives. Transferring stuff from tape to disc is not a clean process by any means.
Like
Yeah.
my Tenchi Universe DVDs, they look awful.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And
I
you can tell they're from tape transfers.
Yeah, so when I saw that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is what they mean. Where the masters are in bad shape, so they, we did our best to fix them. Because a lot of these '80s shows don't because I won't be surprised this show was done by Deke. Probably are
Yeah.
not probably in the best condition. Probably, I imagine.
Mr. Steal Your Wife, who says, why do they look like the Burger King Kids Club?
They kind of are.
They kind of do.
Kinda.
They kind of do.
They just needed like one kid in a wheelchair and one kid with glasses. That's about it.
All right. Let's see. Next up. Okay, I have a story for this one. All right,
Yes.
Darkstalkers USA. Okay.
Stalker.
For context, this is a 13-episode cartoon that was made to kind of piggyback off the Street Fighter USA cartoon.
So when this came out, I
Kaus,
think
tell me about your story watching this as a kid, please.
Oh, I love telling this story. So as a kid, this would show up I forgot if it was after or before Street Fighter. And I would sit through it. I'm like, well, Street Fighter's gonna be on. Either that, or like, oh, this is Capcom. Either way, every time I watched a show, I never played the game. I knew of the game's existence. Every time I saw this show, I remember saying to myself every single time, I don't know what Darkstalkers is, but I know this ain't it.
Yep.
And even as a kid, I had a feeling that without playing the game, I was like,
Do you guys want to know my reaction to when this was announced?
Were you freaking out because
hysterical laughter? I was laughing my ass off. I was like, the intro started playing, and I just started laughing.
Stalker.
And the thing was, my parents were so confused. They're like, "Do you love it or hate it?" And I was like, "It's terrible. I can't wait to buy it."
You know what my favorite part? I love Lord Raptor just poking his head out in the very corner, like the bottom of the art there.
Yes, they went incredibly hard with this release. They did 2 new art pieces based on the game posters with the characters from the
Oh
cartoon.
my god, wait, that's new art?
That's new art. There was no promo art for the show, so they made new art.
I'm curious how the masses are, because this is one of those shows that like never got. I think it got like a DVD release, like a 4-episode DVD release in like Europe or something like that.
So there's that. They have animated. They made animated menus that resemble the game menus.
Oh my god!
And there's extras on here, including commentaries.
Oh boy!
They went so hard on a show that is so bad, and I can't wait to own this. I'm so excited.
Look, we Darkstalker fans are starving.
I'm gonna put this right next to my OVA, and it's gonna look like the things are of equal quality on the shelf, and they aren't. It's great.
My favorite thing is because Discotek allowed to do like little sneak teaser hint tweets of upcoming reels. I love the hint for this one. It's that famous like the most evil f up version of the character.
Hamburger helper. It was like Hamburger Helper, and then evil Hamburger Helper was just him with like pointy teeth and angry eyebrows, and that's Pyron's brother from the show.
Yeah, because in this show they gave Pyron an eviler brother.
Yep.
In the finale. I love it.
Top tier. I think after Cyborg 009, this is my second most exciting reveal.
Next one is
just because it's so bad, I can't wait to own it. And then
the next Colonel William Guile.
And then here we got Street Fighter the animated series.
Yes. This is
also Balrog typing with his boxing gloves on.
This is delicious.
I love seeing Balrog type with his boxing gloves on.
Brand new artwork. Box inspired by the game box. Art gallery including the storyboards and original artworks. Every single episode has a commentary track that's hosted by Matt McMuscles, and then the guest stars include Brady, Maximilian Dew, Justin Wong, Arian Ego Raptor Hansen, Alex Lee Lithrow, and Guile Winquote. Ego Raptor actually provided the storyboards and the artwork for this.
Oh, that's cool.
And then
I was making a joke about like, why am I not there in the commentary? I know these guys. I at least know some of them personally.
You'd be like, hey guys,
they didn't let me in.
You had 26 commentaries. You couldn't fit one for me. They also have the animated menus, and it will have the M. Bison meme video in full HD, as close to its HD as it can.
The box art,
in full SD Blu-ray.
The meme compilation video. I can't wait to see what that is.
They said they've recreated the classic memes that were made out of the show.
You killed
the new master.
You killed my father. I killed
I killed mine too. You don't hear me whining about it.
This show, the Street Fighter anime series, is my ultimate guilty pleasure because it is legitimately bad, but it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining.
There's two things that most people don't bring up. I want to bring up.
Yes.
One, the final fight episode with Cody yelling, "My Jessica!" And two, when Sakura shows up, and she has the most Brooklyn Rage accent this side of Joey. And it's hilarious.
Wasn't my favorite quote.
I can't wait to buy this show and watch it.
What was it, Kels? Like you mentioned during the NBC issue where it's like, was it Fei Long and Ken? It's like,
I love that when Fei Long roasts Ken with the most like scathing roast ever, calling him a pathetic fighter, weak, like a loser. he calls him everything under the sun, and Ken just goes, and you bro. That was his only comeback, and I'm like, Ken, and you're on the ground. He's on the ground too, saying this. I'm like, Ken, you got nothing.
Putting these two back to back was amazing, right? Like, just expert programming for these reveals. I'm so excited.
I legitimately think this Bison's a really good Bison. Honestly, and Richard Newman, the legitimately good Bison. Like, I wish he was the Game Voice actor also.
And as everybody's saying in the chat, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm is next.
Oh yeah, combat time.
Yep. God, what is it? Let's see. Discotek really has a knack for releasing 90s video game cartoons. They really do.
I hope they do SC Blue or that Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoon.
That'd be great, because I would like to see that put on, because I don't want to have to buy the DVD because it wouldn't fit.
Especially now the Japan got they make help me and meme again.
All right, moving into Kamen Rider Tokusatsu, they started with Kamen Rider X, and when they started playing the intro for X, and the first thing popped up, I just started clapping because I was like, "Thank you, we're going in order." Because for those that aren't aware, because I'm like one of the few people that watched all the Showa Kamen Rider shows, there is tied continuity from Kamen Rider through Stronger and a little bit into Sky Rider. Which Sky Rider then leads into Super 1. Like, those original shows have tied continuity with supporting cast. So, I had
to get up sound out.
What was that?
I had to get up. Are you trauma dumping on them about Kamen Rider X? Because I don't want to miss this.
I haven't trauma dumped yet. I'm just talking about continuity. Okay, so...
There's a reason I bring that up, people.
There is continuity from Kamen Rider through Super 1, or till Z-Cross, really. That first, like, the first 10 writers, quote-unquote. Those shows have great, like, tied, interconnected universe continuity. So, Kamen Rider already existed streaming up from Shout Factory, right? Discotek's first writer of this era is V3. The next one they're doing is X. I would have to say Amazon, Stronger, Sky Rider, Super 1 are going to be following, because if you're watching these as they come out, you are getting them in the correct order. And that is what is so great.
Z-Cross was in Kamen Rider World, right? Would that be his own thing? Or
no, Z-Cross was in his own special called Birth of the 10th Kamen Rider Z-Cross. I don't know what the rights are when it comes to that, because it's a TV special. In Japan, it was bundled in with the Super 1 set. So it could be done as well.
So, you think you do that? Or, you know what would be a cool way, I think what they could do?
A movie collection?
Was Z-Cross? Oh no, I think they can't do movies because I don't know, maybe that's separate. They can do Z-Cross and SC Rider. They can do it together because I think
that would be
perfect.
Cool. I think there's got to be there was just an announcement, I think, in Southeast Asia for a collection of Showa Kamen Rider movies, and it was all the show's movies in one go. And that's the same way they were released in Japan. I almost wonder if that's how the licensing works. Like, you have to get all of them.
Was Z-Cross in that collection?
I don't think so. I think Z-Cross is a separate release, but I'd have to double check.
I would say, man, Toei, do you have nothing for assets?
This is the movie poster for Five Riders versus King Dark, because there was nothing else they could use.
My God, it's so low quality, also.
Yeah, that's the best they could use, and that was because Mike Dent had a scan for it.
I can't believe, yeah, God, Toei. So that means it wasn't for Mike Dent. They had nothing then.
Yep.
Which I mean, that shows with the other Toku releases, also.
Yeah. This is definitely. It's got bonus features. It's got your essay, your cast reunion stuff that came from the Japanese Blu-ray. It's a full decked out like we expect.
Oh man, 35 episodes. I missed when Rider shows were that short.
It was that short because it got canceled. Because, as Kaus alluded to with the trauma dumping, this show goes insanely dark.
Is that the half with Starfish Hitler?
No, it's the earlier half. The Starfish Hitler is from the goofier half of the show.
Okay.
The show starts like there's so much trauma that happens to Jin Keisuke. There's a reason they put Kamen Rider X and Kamen Rider Phase together as a pairing in Kamen Rider Tyson, because those are the two most traumatized people that have ever been.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that's where, because my only thing I see of X is that is his snippet from Heisei versus Showa. So yeah, that's what I figured.
I remember you telling me of all the stuff that happened in X. That's why I'm like, oh, the trauma. Because yeesh, when you told me what happened, I was like, this is a kid's show. What's going on here?
There is an early episode. I think it's like episode 11. I can't tell you what happens in that episode. I will be demonetized.
I love. Can you read Mr. Steal Your Waifu's comment?
Starfish Hitler is a surprisingly chill episode considering the context. Yeah, it honestly is. It
I just
honestly
love that.
is.
I just
And
love
the
the
chat even said, for kids.
Yeah.
I just love that because it's so out of context. Starfish Hitler is surprisingly chill.
Yeah, no, when they start doing the animal and historical figure combination monsters, that's when the show starts to kind of like be a little bit more upbeat. Like when they're doing Aunt Capone and Scorpion Geronimo and yes, Starfish Hitler. Starfish Hitler is treated like a joke, which is great. I will tell you that this show, it starts incredibly dark. And man, God, and somebody mentioned V3's family. Like, no, that's not even close to what happens in the show.
It's one of the things where I think if modern writer had that kind of tone consistency, because I know when I hear about Gav, it's it's super dark, but have these goofy ass designs. I kind of wish
it's Gav kind of feels Showa-y in that regard, because the thing with this show. And then, a lot of writer shows, a lot of early Showa writer will be like, this monster is essentially a serial killer that goes after people. And then they make sounds like, chi-chi-chi-chi-chi-chi-chi. And so it's a little bit jarring, but it's kind of the way to take the intensity off of it for kids.
And then they throw the stunt dubby.
Yeah, and then they turn into, bubbles or stuff. So it's
There's something genuine about Showa writer. I love about it so much.
It's the low budgetness of it. It's the fact that they had no money to work with. There was no safety laws. There was just they were just trying to make it happen, and that's what makes the earnestness of it. That I feel like with Kamen Rider nowadays doesn't have that quality that Showa does, because they have the budget, they have the money, they can do a lot of stuff.
I don't think they have budget.
They do. They have more budget now than they did back when these shows first existed, because they make money from the toys. They didn't have toy money as much back then. And they didn't have the technology. They had to invent a lot of this stuff. There's this effect of V3 absorbing electrical energy, and it's looks like electricity's coming onto him.
MS Paint.
And no, it actually wasn't that. They made a mannequin, put the V3 suit on a mannequin, stuck a bunch of feathers in it, and then backlit it. Because that's just what they had to do. They had to get really creative. And that's what I love about Showa Writer. And I'm so glad these Blu-rays exist, because now people are able to watch them easier. And it's good.
It's like how I'll forever love seeing kaijus explode in Ultraman. They can show Ultraman because they just go kaboom. It's so funny. It makes me laugh every time because it's so just they just blow him up. He's gone. He can't come back.
Mr. Studio Waifu said the best writer scenes are any scenes that throw a doll off a cliff. Heisei would never. Yeah, Gotchard threw a dummy off a cliff once, and I cheered. I clapped. There were tears in my eyes. I was so happy.
Is it like when Ark did the practical explosion again?
Yes, it was. And they threw a dummy off a cliff, and the arm broke off halfway down, and I was just like, this is amazing. I love Gotchard.
It's next to the...
Real quick, Kaiju54 said, which was darker, first half of X or first half of Amazon? First half of X. Amazon is more violent, but its story content is not as dark.
Remember, that's the thing about Amazon. Even though he's all brutal violence and how he kills Samachi, he's still the guy about friendship.
Yes, he's the friendship buddy. God, I can't wait till Amazon comes out, man.
Amazon is such... That's why I don't...
So many people are going to get to learn how Amazon rides a motorcycle, and I can't wait.
Well, that's why I really just do not like Amazon's by its premise, his existing alone, because
I don't like it as an Amazon connected thing. I like it as its own little thing, but yeah.
Yeah, as its own thing, it's fine, but I just see the problem I have with Amazon is I see it and all I think is, they just know they only made it because they saw how people react to. Oh my god, Amazon's so violent, even though he's
Amazon is the Ultraman Blazar of Kamen Rider.
Yeah, he's the most friend of friends, Amazon.
All right. Next up, okay, so I was hyped for this, and nobody's seen this movie.
Another savior.
Another thing is Escape Generation Kikaider. When Generation Kikaider fell, a bunch of all their licenses went into a pit, and Discotek was like, "Give me." Kikaider Reboot, also known as Kikaider: The Ultimate Human Machine, is the 2014 reboot. It's funny. It's the second 2014 live action movie. In this thing. But anyways, the other being Lupin. This is a reboot of Kikaider. If you watch Kamen Rider Gaim and they suddenly had an episode where Kikaider was there, this is why. And this is a great movie. I really like it. I felt like it was a good
you like it, huh?
modern reinterpretation of Kikaider.
I remember a lot of people were kind of mixed on it, so
People
go
were
ahead.
mixed on it, but I think a lot of people didn't really understand Kikaider because of,
Well,
you know,
is
a
it
lot
because
of
of
people I saw
Hokkaido?
that watched it were people that watched Kamen Rider, right?
Oh yeah, but yeah, because
Or
I wonder how
Hokkaider, but like the original
yeah.
Kikaider show, it carries that spirit. And I definitely think that because Discotek is releasing original Kikaider, I think before this, like when you watch both, you can kind of go like, oh yeah, I kind of get it now.
All we need now is the anime.
Yes, we need the anime. We also need Kikaider 01, the sequel series,
Oh yeah.
which was in the Generation Kikaider pit, so I think they can get that. And then we need the
Love the
anime and the 01 anime.
I do love the fan make name of Kikaider Reboot because it just works
Yes.
as a
That
it's a
was
good
even what
title.
Generation Kikaider released it as when they put it out in theaters
Yeah.
in Hawaii. They called it
Because
Kikaider
when me and
Reboot.
Wheels were saying this, Wheels was like, "Wait a minute, that's his name. I just knew it as Kikaider Reboot."
Yeah, a lot of people called it that,
Hey,
and I think it was smart because it
but
makes sense.
it's a good. I mean, it's a good name, not because it is a reboot of Kikaider, but robot reboot.
Mm.
You know all that stuff.
Yeah, and this is one of those movies. Like I know some people call it boring, but it is a character piece. It's not an action movie.
I do think Kikaider. This is a really fantastic modern redesign of Kikaider.
Mm. Yeah, I think if you've seen it before, give it another go. If you haven't seen it before, I'd say check it out. It is a character piece. You know, I think that when people look at sometimes with these movies, they're like, "Oh, it's like an action piece." It's not. It's a character piece. For Jiro.
Watch anime, you'd know. Already
yeah,
older.
exactly.
I already know.
Yeah, it is a little overly dark at times, but not like gore, violence dark. It's just like
Kikaider.
it's not like it's not like Kikaider.
It's like when they talk about it, they're like, "Whoa, that's heavy."
Yeah, it's a little heavy at times. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So, all right.
Hey, next,
Jan Person.
Jan Person, fight for justice.
When it popped up with the clip, I just started shouting. I was shouting "Jan Person, fight for justice" at my TV screen when it happened. I was so hyped.
That's probably most people. What do you mean it's not RoboCop?
I would say,
I think G-Bon's a little closer to RoboCop. I think it's funny that way.
Closer. But also, man, they had nothing. Toei gave them nothing.
Yes.
That's just a screenshot.
Yeah, they're just using that as a artwork, not final though.
It's not final, but that's... And the thing is, too, is I've heard from people that worked with Toei, you can get a better image that's like an official image, and it'll look better, and Toei will not approve it.
That's so frustrating. We know there's high quality render.
Yeah, man.
We know there's high resolution images of these scenes because we've seen it in their picture books and stuff, but they never give it to people.
No, and they won't let them use it even if they do pull it.
Yeah, like, you have a question about
if
Metalder was a reboot or not.
Metalder was a spiritual successor. Yeah, Metalder was a spiritual successor to Kikaider.
Hence why it had the same look.
He just got the inverted colors. His colors are inverted. You know, it's like if you have the base model Switch with the Joy-Cons versus the red and blue Joy-Cons you could buy on their own.
Individually, yeah.
I think I've only seen XC Draft and Soul Ray. I don't think I've seen Jan Person.
Jan Person's pretty cool. It's a good show. I've never seen a Metal Hero show in full, I have to admit. That's bad on me. I want to watch them in order, like the order they came out. They're being released kind of in a different order because I'm sure some of these shows require more work than others and licensing costs and such, but they're independent shows, so it's fine. Outside of the groups of trilogies, the Space Sheriff trilogy, the Rescue Police trilogy, and the Bee Fighters. This is a standalone show, but I'm very excited to see this. It also is it's one of the more famous ones, I think. I think a lot more people know about Jan Person in general. And yeah, the art is the art. But very excited. All right. I will not lie to everybody. This is a good Discotek stream overall, but after Jan Person, I just lost all personal interest in the rest of the announcements.
I was the only one who cared about this next one, I think.
The announcement, we have Vivid Strike. Which
there was a lot of good stuff. Before we get too far, I want to say there was a lot of good stuff. It just after Jan Person, I didn't find anything I wanted.
No, I remember me and Wheels feeling mid overall, like not mid, like bad, just like like you said.
It's like when you watch a Nintendo Direct and you're like, that's a lot of good variety of stuff, but then like your personal interest kind of fell off.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
It's not a bad thing.
Games.
Vivid Strike.
They're not.
I think this is still a good lineup because I always kind of hate when the Nintendo Direct is mid because it wasn't the things I'm interested in.
No, exactly. I'm like the first half of the stream was just bangers for me, and then the second half of the stream was stuff I'm not interested in, but it's still good stuff. They did explain this is the last Nanoha release they're gonna do. This is a sequel to Nanoha Vivid, but they cannot get Nanoha Vivid because of Aniplex.
Yep, licensing.
It's completely off the table. They cannot release it.
Thanks, Netflix.
Yep. Jerry, do you have any thoughts on Vivid Strike?
I like Nano. I mean, it's basically when I don't get what I want with Precure, which because Precure doesn't want to do fist fights anymore, I go to Nanoha.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you watch Sinful? Have you seen Sinful Gear yet?
Oh, Sympho Gear. I know very much about Sympho. It's pretty cool. Yuki Aoi's in it.
Yeah, because Sinful Gear is very inspired by Nanoha, heavily. I mean, Tsubasa.
Nanoha is like the groundwork, so you should watch
Yeah.
it if you like Sympho Gear or those Precure seasons where they're actually allowed to fight.
Yeah, I mean, watching Nanoha seasons, I'm a big fan of
Mm.
Sinful Gear, so really you should check them out.
Kyle
eventually.
mentioned, for context, Nanoha Vivid was animated by A1 Pictures, which is owned by Aniplex. The rest was done by a different studio, 7 Arcs, and that's why the things are. I don't know about the first 2 movies, Smith the Crow. That's beyond my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Next up, When They Cry.
Higurashi When They Cry.
Higurashi When They
Some
Cry.
people were loving this, and me, speaking of trauma dumping, that's me with this show. I was
Apparently,
like,
this is like the 4th time this came out or something.
So,
Yeah.
if you don't, for people know, Higurashi is based off a visual novel. Is a hit visual novel first, and this was, I think, the first adaptation because there was a recent adaptation that came out recently.
That's it was like Kai or something. I forget.
Yeah, I forget. I think this was done by either Gideon or Bandai because it was. It's one of the two. I understand.
And they were saying like they're like the 4th distributor to pick it up.
Because I think Funimation got it after
Kyle said Genion to Funimation to Sentai Filmworks to now Discotek.
Yeah, there we go. Because this is the 4th time it's released. This is a late 2000s like horror anime classic. The best way to describe it. I think a lot more people know.
A lot of people like it. That if it's your thing.
Mm.
Nami.
Yeah, it's a horror series.
I went on a whole tirade because when Will was like, "Yeah, man," and I was like, "What? You know what?" And I went on a whole tirade. I was like, "I like Umi Neko better."
Oh yeah, Umineko's good. I really like Umineko. But
Higurashi is good. It's just not my thing,
Higurashi When They Cry, at least this anime adaptation, it's pretty alright from here. But a lot of people who played the visual novel said it's not the best.
That's the thing with adapting visual novels. Have you the original Fate Stay Night anime? People play the visual novel, says it sucks because of how they adapted it.
I like the 10-6 anime well enough, except for that original arc that they made for it.
Muteki, I'm picky on my horror. I like monster horror. I don't. I don't do regular. Like, I don't do horror. I don't do slasher. I do monster horror. Monster horror is my jam.
That one, I remember I had a nightmare that one of those characters was chasing me with a knife.
Oh wow!
Like
Higurashi.
All right,
moving on. We got okay. This is Terrifying Girls High School. It's
is this Pinky?
Practically porn.
Is this a Pinky? Was this one of those pink movies?
It's one of those Pinky violence movies. Yes.
I can't tell the censorship on the cover is done for just Twitter post or that's on the cover.
It's on the cover, maybe. I don't know.
There's 3 of them.
They was funny because they played a trailer and they're like, you won't notice the edits we had to make for broadcast, and every once it would just cut and it'd be like picture removed. It had like cute little music playing and then it would cut back.
Is it the classic scene missing? Like
yeah, it was scene missing and it had like little music and then it went to the next thing and went scene missing and I was like, it was one of the funniest things about it. It's the 4th one I think it's the 4th installment in the series, or is it 3? You've seen the 4th installment. Oh, they already released the 4th one.
Yeah, they did.
And this is the first 3. Released separately. So, they're doing more of those. All right. Tomorrow's Joe, the movie. This is the live-action version.
I'm glad to see this. Now, if only Crunchyroll could release the actual anime they've been sitting on.
Mm-hmm.
Is this related to Even Though Joe? Is it, I'm assuming? Is it?
This is Ashita
It's a live-action of Ashita no Joe, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Joe Yabuki.
All I got from this was that this movie's very sweaty.
It's a
boxing, bro.
I know, but it's just everybody's sweaty.
Bruh. I hope they release Ashita no Joe 1 and you watch it. It's.
I've seen Megalobox. I'm not like unfamiliar because I did watch Megalobox.
It doesn't like.
Yeah.
It hits you like you got yeah. If you like you got to see the OG.
Yep.
Oh,
All
it hits
right.
you, man. Even the song hits you.
Oh, I love when songs hit. Nana and Nana 2, these are the live action versions of
Underrated.
Nana. Yeah.
I showed Wheels Nana the anime, and he's like,
Mhm.
"This is good." I'm like, "I know, right? A lot of people don't talk about Nana,
I
but
think the
they're good."
is it the manga coming out or there was some I think Viz just announced a thing for Nana. Like I think it was like
Yeah,
the light novel or
Manga.
something. Manga,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
and the thing about the mangas, I think if I remember, I'm looking it up.
Mm.
I think the mangaka has some wrong problem with her hand, and that's why she hasn't been able to
Mm. Kyle said complete
finish. It's
manga
on
set. Okay.
hiatus.
I did see Nana get announced on the thing then. All right. Hana Yori Dango Final is the
Boys
finale.
Over Flowers.
Yeah. It's the finale of the 2000s adaptation in a movie form.
Gives me Orin High School vibes. I don't know why.
I think so. I don't know. Cass, you know anything about this?
Boys Over Flowers. One of
So-
those classics. I-
Did you like
Boy-
that?
Actually watch
Boys
it.
Over Flowers sounds like the gender flip version of Bros Before Hoes.
Is it like I mean, Cass? Is it like why? Is it like what I think it is? Like, is it like Orin High School Club, something like that, where it's like very much sojo, it's very sojo.
It's very shoujo. Um, golly, how do I?
It's hard to put into words. That's what I'm getting from it.
Right now,
There's four rich
Yeah.
guys that she's all The main character's the girl,
It's the Bachelorette.
kind of.
Okay then. I don't know if they released the earlier films or anything because I don't keep track of it. All right. God, this movie looked insane. Shark Skin Man and Peach Hip Girl.
my God. Also, my God, that's a JPEG cover. If I see one.
I know. I love
I get
when
any more
crazy
pixels?
movies come out. They said the trailer looked worse than the movie did for this one. The trailer looked really rough, but they said the movie looks better. It's a Katsuhito Ishii buddy action comedy.
Tadanobu Asano is in it. I gotta
Yes.
watch just for him.
And he's in the Lupin movie. He plays Zenigata. So, it's kind of funny. There's a lot of Tadanobu
Yakuza
Asano.
fans should
Yeah.
recognize him.
Mm. All right. Then we have a Takashi Miike musical horror comedy.
This
Miike.
cover scares me.
Takashi Miike is the happiness of the
Oh, wait,
Katakuris, which has a tagline: "The sound of music meets Dawn of the Dead."
Those eyes, those deadly, so peering eyes.
Takashi
yes,
Miike
man.
is one of the greatest people to ever make movies. I gotta tell you, and it's for reasons like this. Also, has anybody seen Zebra Man besides me? Because Zebra Man's great.
Oh, Zebra Man! Wow.
That's also Miike. And also a couple episodes of Ultraman Max. Anyways, that looked freaking crazy. And then they had Deers, which had lyrics.
Dear S. That's
Dear S.
That's
Dear
how it's
S.
pronounced. This is a
The
band. This is
opening
a,
theme song sent me for a loop. I was like, what just happened?
Say what I told you when I saw that, and I felt kind of sad.
You said, unfortunately, I know what this is.
this is a.
Remember, I said I'm so sad that I knew what this was from frame one.
Oh yes, right. Yeah, you knew from frame one, like that, like how I knew the Cyborg 009 versus Devilman clip.
I just knew all that's Dear Us.
Yep.
If I know, if I remember right, I think this is a Bandai Entertainment rescue.
Yes.
Rescue.
And it's been remastered into HD using AstroRes, same tech they used for Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. All right.
And the last one, there's a last announcement.
Dear God. Urutsuko Doji.
Yeah, I was like, really?
I was like, oh my God. And then they went into the details about like the censoring and how they got an uncut 35mm print. They did this and this and this.
I wondered why he said he had a barf bag before they announced it. He was like, "Oh, I need a barf bag for this one."
think
I was like,
partially because of the quality it
also
was in.
the flashing.
There was a lot of flashing. The quality it was in before working on it. The 9 months that it took for David to work on it.
So wait, hold on, because I think you guys fast forward to talking about it. So do you explain what this is? So this is.
I'm trying to figure out how to explain it without YouTube getting me.
So this is based on a manga. Because I did do some research on this. So apparently from thanks to the content clues, this is a very like one of those like lost media films apparently, or at least there's only like what
There's been
one
releases before, but not great.
not
And I don't
great.
think
Yeah,
everything was together.
yeah.
Yeah, because
This is
there's like
a
there was a movie that was cut into 3 OVAs or vice versa, and so they include both versions.
yeah. This is
Yeah.
a what I call a rescue release, pretty much
Yep.
of. So yeah, brand new historical 2D scan and restoration of the last note. Is this the uncut 35mm print from our private collection? My
Mhm.
God. So it was a badly damaged print. Took 9 months to restore. Took new hash development. Reduced Dave's lifespan by years. I kind of love that blurb.
Poor guy sounded like he got years taken off his life with this. And they're the trailers on their social media and stuff. And it really shows that like they had like the dirtiest, messiest print as existing. And then they went and restored it and it's like beautiful and clean. And I'm just like, holy crap. Yes, it is collection 1. They did say they got the rest of them, I believe. However many there
Who
are.
knows? Who knows? Maybe this could take and rescue that Phantom Blood movie that's been lost forever.
That would be
Oh,
cool.
the JoJo one that
Yeah.
Araki
Yeah.
was like, no, Candace.
Yeah.
Yep. This is insane, and it's a ton of work, and I can't
But
talk about the contents of it because
yeah,
it's essentially
Mateki,
porn.
yeah, Mateki,
It's the first.
Mateki said surprised anybody didn't do this. Here's the thing.
Media Blasters did. They did do
But I was
this.
like, yeah, but it was like using what using what they have pretty
Yep.
much. But
This
like-
is like the painstaking restoration side because they said that they got the what Media Blasters had, and then they worked with that. Yeah.
You're giving me Central Park Media memories.
Yep.
He said, "Please get MD Geist."
yeah,
And
but
that
like,
was their
yeah,
last big announcement, and they also
that's-
did say
and-
that like Kite, this is probably only going to be on Amazon and nowhere else.
And that's the thing
We
about
didn't get
and that's the thing
Tokusatsu.
about this film. Like, even though like if you're not interested in this film, I think it's the commitment to
Yeah.
work on this film is understand why it's the last big thing. Because
Like,
look,
They
Those
always
are
like
one-
to end with
I mean,
like
hey.
a Gunbuster or a Project A-ko or something, where it's like we
Right,
worked
like, they like to
insanely
end-
hard on
yeah,
this.
we almost lost our lives to this.
Yeah.
Damn it. We're gonna make this the big announcement.
No, exactly. Like I think they structure these by like the last big announcement is either something mind blowing that people never thought they'd get, or something mind blowing that people can't believe they restored it, right?
Mm.
And yeah, they worked the hardest on this, and I'm impressed. I'm not going to buy it, but I'm really impressed.
It's one of those like historical releases
Yeah.
where like where it's like even if you're not into it or don't even know what it is, it's like just reading what they said, how they work on it is like a miracle scenario.
And it's not like A-ko where I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, I should watch this now because they did such a good job with it. It's like that's definitely not my thing, but I'm appreciating the work they did for sure. Yeah, it's it's insane. But yeah, that was the thing they did say. Yes, that's right. Media OCD, which is the company that actually does the work on the discs that all these guys work for, is Media OCD. They also own Animego. The Media OCD store is going to start carrying Discotek titles. They're starting with new releases, and they're going to try to add more to the back catalog. They do ship international for Discotek stuff on Media OCD. Of course, region coding will always be like a hurdle, but it's more options that aren't just Crunchyroll and Amazon. And I plan to order from them in the future when it comes to pre-ordering stuff. I'm like the next round of pre-orders, I'm probably going to go through Media OCD instead. So yeah, March pre-order titles should be announced soon. I think in the next couple of weeks. Maybe they're skipping March and they're going to go straight to April. 'Cause they've been kind of doing that lately, where they're doing like every other month. But yeah, so there's now a third option for buying their discs, which is nice. So there you go. That was Hellfire says I wish Deep Discount would get Discotek stuff. They get some of it, but not most of it. I really want more options because I don't like ordering from Crunchyroll store.
The Deep Discount, good place, because I don't know. Every time I see Deep Discount, it always gives me kind of shady website vibes.
I've never had a problem with them, but they do have a shady website vibe. I won't deny that.
Like every time I see it, I feel like if I put my credentials in there, I'm gonna get like hacked and just.
It's like
get
when
my
I ordered
money
from
stolen.
In Stock Trades the first time. I was like,
Yeah, I was thinking of that exact website. Yeah.
everybody says
For
it's
comics.
good, but like, and then I'm like, oh no, this is the best. it just looks like an old, outdated, like mid 2000s like mail order site.
it looks like I'm gonna get my information stolen.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, all right, it's time to talk about Gozyuger.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I got to see the trailer yesterday.
good.
Wonder how much I popped I actually visibly went yes.
All right.
I'll tell you that much.
Okay, so Gozyuger had a press conference last night. Hellfire says if you use deep discount, never email them, just call their support. Yeah, I always recommend. If there's a phone number for a customer service line, always call it.
Yeah, I always call first.
Always
Yeah,
call
I never
first.
email.
All right, so number one Sentai Gozyuger, the next Sentai series. We had the full press conference, which means we have casting, we have some details. The series' theme is marriage, apparently, because there's rings, they're engaging with monsters, there's clapping, there's music, and the villains are all wedding planners.
Emblem, engage!
Yeah, no, a lot of that. And also, it's funny because Keys into Red has like a marriage beam cannon. Marriage stuff. That's all over the place.
I always hate feeling like the sourpuss of these Sentai discussions. Because okay, I don't hate what I'm seeing.
Well, let's go.
Like,
Let's go through it, and then you can give your thoughts as we go through it. So Goju Wolf here. This is the guy playing him. I think it's interesting. They went with an accent color in wardrobe. Their like color is an accent color to their outfit as opposed to the primary color, which I kind of dig.
that's the thing I feel like that's actually one of my favorite things about Isekai Red's intro. Like I miss the primary colors of these Sentai Rangers. I feel like
and they have the primary. Well, I was gonna say in Boom Boomsure they wear their primary colors, but then their suits are mostly
like
gray.
what's the main? I mean, like the color to keep using for Gozyuger is gold.
Yes.
A lot of times, I kind of like bring back all the individual primary colors. That's why I look up the intro of Keys and Rays, how bold the colors.
All right, so then we got Goju Leon, Blue. I guess we should look at the personalities. I mean, we're working off of machine translation here because I didn't want to have like 1,000 tweets loaded into my notes. This is just off the TV Asahi website. Basically, like Red's whole thing is he's kind of a loudmouth and he howls enthusiastically. He was on during the stage show part. It kind of reminded me of Ultraman Blazar. Like,
isn't he like a loner also?
He's a loner. He has no family or friends. And he's like working a part-time job, basically. Blue's whole thing is he's a former super idol that's kind to women and men, and I'm not exactly sure why they specified that, but maybe that'll be something.
Maybe.
Yeah, but he's a tactician good at manipulating people. Interesting. Then we have Yellow, who's the older one. It's Goju Tyranno, which is pretty neat that there's a Tyranno-themed ranger that's not red.
Very from according to some translations, Blue is supposed to be a former super idol.
Yes, that's what it says right here. Former super idol on the machine translation.
Soundout did read that part. Yes.
Goju Tyranno. He wants to have happiness, and he looks for happiness.
Acolyte of the Tengen Sword.
Yes.
It's like one translation says.
Lived on a house, and due to his ascetic religion, something.
Yeah, due to his aesthetic religion, he became a devastating person from his family.
Ascetic. How did
this guy was born in 1994, which means he's the only one in the cast that's older than me.
Yeah.
All right. Green is a high school student. Welcome back to High School Heroes.
High school party boy, apparently.
Yeah, Goju Eagle is his designation.
Well, what animal was Blue again?
Blue is a lion.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah.
A lion that's not red and a Tyranno that's not red.
Yeah.
Huh. Actually, I think all, except for Unicorn, really enough, all these the animals of all the different rangers are pretty much a lot of red. A lot of times.
Yeah.
Eagle, we had Duo Eagle, but now we have had like, well, that was a condor in Game
we have red lions, red Tyrannos, red eagle, red eagle.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've had lions not red before.
Yeah. Yellow Lion's my favorite Sentai Ranger. Why did
I forgot about
No. Also,
I also forgot.
Hurricane
Duo Lion as well was yellow. But you know what we don't get? Blue Lions. Blue Lions are not common.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean, there was Beast.
I've seen a blue lion in Precure, but
there was Beast X, Megazord, or whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't a ranger, right? So
yeah, but the Blue Lion.
Yeah, Blue Lion. Yeah, Go on Blue.
Go on Blue.
Yeah, that would technically be one.
Oh, would he? Okay.
Yeah, but this is the first yellow Tyrannosaurus, that's for sure. And then we got green, and then we got black. Goju Unicorn. She is half Filipino, so that's awesome. Adding to that.
Ace Detective Junpei. I mean, just high class
detective. And she works part-time, but there's no detective business. She's a former like police officer who became a private detective.
I didn't get that vibe of her at all.
Yeah, I know.
In that trailer.
Yeah, originally went to police school, but in the wake of a certain incident, became alienated by colleagues and became a detective instead.
Hmm.
So, she was born in 2006. Yes. Also, I like that her accent, the accent colors, like her skirt has black with the white, which matches the black and the white of the suit. I kind of like the white boots on her and the pink. I kind of like as an anniversary thing, the white and the pink mixed with the black. Because it kind of like she's representing like all the kind of like the unusual Sentai color.
The woman.
Yeah, basically. Once again, disappointing. We only have one woman on the team. That's been a weird trend lately. All right. The Tega sword has a voice. It is sentient, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect this thing to be sentient.
Is it one Tengen sword or all of them are sentient?
No idea. It's apparently the Tega Sword hosts a ring competition to contract with people chosen by the ring and decide their number. That goes with my theory that each episode's going to pick a Gozyuger to use their mecha form instead of there being 5 mecha, and then the Tega Sword on the hand is just like a duplicate or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Yuki Kaiji's the voice of that. We also have Nori. Actually, that doesn't look like the right translation. Anyways, this is Time Red's wife. She runs a cafe, but she's not playing Time Red's wife. She is Time Red's wife in real life.
Oh.
Yeah, I just want to make that
Yeah,
clear.
I was saying like what?
Yeah, I stumbled over myself there. She's played by Time Red's wife in real life, and she runs a cafe, which I assume is going to be their place they hang out with. Yes, called
Another
Cafe Half Century, which adds to the Time Ranger reference there.
Another cafe.
And it's like the thing that they do. It's easy. It's an easy set to build, and you utilize. Right, is like a cafe. It's just common in Sentai and Rider. All right, then the villains, we have Fire Candle, who is a candle, and then we have.
It looks like a D-boss, maybe because of the two faces. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of.
Nope, we're not there yet.
No wait. Yeah.
Fire Candle, we got Bouquet, who is a bouquet, going with the wedding theme again. You got candles, you got a bouquet. We've got this guy in a black coat. He holds a key to the story, and that's all they told us about him. And then, welcome back, Baron Ashura. We have Mr. Shining Knife and Mrs. Sweetcake.
All right.
They're the best.
Mazinger.
No,
Yeah.
it's no wait, what's the Mazinger villain?
Baron Ashura.
Yeah, Baron Rush.
Yeah, it's two people that were in love that got fused into one body. I dig that. I also do appreciate, because this is this thing Sentai has done lately, is they stopped using human face villains and they've been doing a lot of monster suit villains only. So it's nice to see that there's only one monster suit villain and the rest are human face villains, because I think that just adds to a lot of the things. Not to say there's like a preference to either. It's just nice to see, because for a while they were only doing monster suit villains, like outside of Yodona. So pretty cool. All right.
I mean, like, I think a lot they do that because they like to make them like halfway through, make them evil ranger or join the good guys a lot of times when they do that. Here, like, since we have multiple, like, it feels like a more like genuine villain group. I guess, you know.
Yeah, instead of just having like the one human like Stacy or Yodona or whatnot, it's like, no, this is actual like villain group. So at the press conference, they did this really cool display where they brought out the 50 Red Rangers of the past, which was really cool. And yes, Zen Kaiser is there, even though he's a White Ranger, but you know, he's the leader. He's the leader. He had actual character as opposed to the Red Ranger that season. So there's that. So they had this really cool like display.
Hey, look, Jiren was being Team Dad, okay?
He was. There's also, it was a fun bit where they had the toys out and Patron and Ichigo had to stop Lupin Red from stealing the toys off the table. Just, I love when suit actors really commit, like 100%. Like they're there mostly to stand, but a lot of them were playing the characters.
My favorite forever be the Ultraman stage shows, and Blazer just looks, he's lost. He looks like he wasn't meant to be there.
Exactly. I love there's this one clip where like Combinator Double was putting Combinator Ghost's hood over his head.
Oh yeah, I love
and
that.
Ghost is just like, stop doing that. Stop messing with my hood. So yeah, they had like a stage show basically. So they had all the characters there, all the actors were there introducing themselves. They did a stage show with fight choreography and stuff. There's clips of it you can find on social media. They talked about the show. It was a big event. Usually, I think a little bit bigger than the normal press conference.
It's the 50th anniversary. That's why.
Yeah, they made a huge deal out of it. And there was a really cool shot of Aka Ranger and Gyoju Wolf. So Adding to this, there will be an episode 0 premiering on YouTube, probably region locked, this weekend. And episode 0 is a mecha battle royale between all the Sentai. And I thought it was so cool because this shot is not just, oh, here's all the main mecha. Like, they threw in Deca Brace, they threw in King Pyramiter and King Caucasus Kabuto.
The toy. Half of those are the toys.
Yes, they said a bunch of these were CG models that existed. Some of them were toys, some of them are Deluxe Robo Universe. Like, it's a mix here. But there is this shot. I forgot to pull the shot. There's a shot of the Tegasword Red standing on top of a pile of mecha bodies with its finger pointed up. It looked like the G Gundam, like Gundam of Gundam shot.
Again, not to be the sour post, but I kind of hate the shot like that.
I like that shot. It's different. We've not seen it in Sentai.
Well, no, the cool shit. But I hate it because it's not what this is not what Sentai is.
But you also don't know the context behind it.
I know, yeah, that's
you're prejudging it there, okay?
I know, no, definitely, but like, I don't know, something just feels wrong.
I see it reminds me of this cover here. Sound up.
I guess when there's like a series well known about friendship and teamwork and all that, seeing like an image like that weirds me out. I guess is the case. Like,
it does kind of look like this. The shot of all the mecha before the fight does.
Yeah, right. It looks like the OGs.
Yeah, like the OGs. Yeah. Because the thing I like about it is that we're also like including like more Sentai than usual, but it does remind me of kind of like it just because they're fighting each other doesn't necessarily mean that it's in a malicious context, because we did have things like Super Sentai Strongest Battle, which was
because I really did like Strongest Battle.
Yeah,
I did really like it. I think I need to. This is again for the case where I do want to check out the show.
It depends on the context, right? Because if it's like, oh, they hate each other and they're fighting, then yeah, that kind of sucks. But if it's like Strongest Battle where they're like, friendly competition, let's see who wins that wish. Like, you know, it depends on the context.
What made I think Strongest Battle work so well for me is they're all fighting
going on
not for even sportsmanship, but because they have their own personal goals, but not selfish goals. Like my favorite Sentai scene of all time is Yamato versus Gal Red, because he's fighting to try to bring back a kid that died from like a sickness, and that is such a powerful scene.
Yeah,
and such a that.
And context is key. Context is key. Like this.
I know.
Yeah, it depends on the context. I think once we see it in context, then
I'm hyped for it. I'll
totally
tell you that
judge
much.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because like because again, I have not seen Boom Boonger, but because I have nothing to say about Boom Boonger because I haven't seen it. Not even trailers, so I can't even comment about Boom Boonger. But like,
Blake said something about it.
I don't even think I've seen the trailer for Boom Boonger. I am super like no idea what's going on in Boom Boonger, so I really should check it out. But
I will say, watching Boom Boonger, this image confuses me. But I'll leave it at that because I don't want to spoil recent Boom Boonger because it's been.
But like because I think for me, what throws me off with the trailer is why I don't like Dawn Brothers. Everybody has this kind of smug attitude to them, and I kind of don't like.
Do you also not like Gokaiger?
Gokaiger, I think because they're from the start they were pirates, so they're meant to be sort of not even antagonistic, but kind of sort of
like they're like one of the smuggest of the Sentai teams. Yeah,
I think those are I mean, because they're fighting against a evading armada.
Yeah,
armada.
They're also not heroes. They're not. Trying to be heroes. They end up being heroes, but they're not trying to be.
I don't know, because I think this is because I feel like the trailer might showcase the bad aspects of them. I feel like because I don't know. I think because I think that's why I was so shocked seeing Black with the police woman, because I did not get that vibe at all. Look at her.
She was kicked out of the police academy. She's not currently a policewoman. Like there's
I know, but like I wish you got some vibes of that at least.
Well, we also got to see it in context. We got like what a 90-second trailer and some photos.
That's what I mean. I really wish the shit was better. That's the thing. Because like the reason why I don't like Dawn Brothers, and so many people are like it's so cool, is because
chill out.
No,
okay.
sorry, no, I wasn't angry. I was just.
I know, but that blew my ears a little bit.
Sorry.
It keeps the audio. I was like, okay, all right, chill out.
I'm so sorry for that. But the reason I don't like Dawn Brothers is just it just had this cynical edge feel to it.
It's because Kamen Rider Fi's the Sentai show.
and I don't like Fies.
Yeah, I don't like Fies either.
I didn't care
Yeah,
for Fries either.
and
Yeah.
I apologize to everyone in the chat. Oh god, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Um,
It happens. I've done it. I've done it to everybody too.
uh,
Yeah.
Mateki, shut up. It just it just made me miserable watching because I just did not like the cast. It just to
Yeah.
me I guess
They're
and
all
maybe that's
supposed to be
why
unlikable people, and that's the
and
problem I have with it too. Which is why
and
I'm
then
glad I watched it when it was done as opposed to weekly,
that's
because I would have never handled it weekly.
and that's why this I know that's the idea, but like I don't know, to me Sentai is Power Rangers, all that. This genre of teenage squadron. Especially in this, Sentai Power Rangers form, like,
Hmm.
what your Avengers or Justice League. I don't mind characters bugging. I don't mean like I don't even mind butting heads, but like there's this kind of vibe with Don Brothers where you can tell no one likes each other, and I don't want to watch a show where the whole show is
You should
about that.
really watch Boom Boonger, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Everything you're complaining about with the other Sentai stuff,
Yeah,
that's
Boom
totally
Boom's
valid. Boom Boonger's for you, because it doesn't do any of
Yeah,
that.
that's why like I haven't seen that's why I haven't say anything like
Yeah.
this. That's why like for Boomer I never heard to I don't talk about because I literally don't know anything about it. Like
Mhm.
I like because
You should check out Boom Boonger though, because I think you'd really like
yeah
it. I think
yeah
you'd
because
really like Boom Boonger.
I seen um because the thing about Don Birds, it's not like I always saw one episode. Just like no, I gave Don Birds my full attention. I
Yeah.
watched about 13 episodes of it. That's a whole anime season right there.
Yep.
And yeah, I just do not like it. It just everything about Don Brothers to me is what I do not want Sentai to be, and I feel like that kind of bled over some shows and why I couldn't get into them. Even like stuff like I watched like some episode of King Oja. I thought that was fine. And such what was it? Wait, after no, it was just oh wait, no,
Yeah, it
it
was
was
just
King
King
Oja.
Oger and
That
then
was it.
Boom Boonger. Yeah.
It was there. Yeah. And
I mean,
such as that.
I had my big Sentai crash out because of Zenkaiger and Don Brothers, so I get it.
Yeah.
And I
And
will
that's
say that, like, when it comes to Don Brothers, as a show, it's a good show, but I think it's the worst Sentai show because I think they're the worst Sentai. And
yeah, and that,
I don't know if it
that
was intentional, but they are like the worst Sentai team. They're not like Mr. Tanuki said. It sounds like Always Sunny, but appropriate for kids. It sounds like not a great choice. Yeah, no, that's kind of what
think
it
about
is, and I
it.
don't like
It's
it
like
as a Sentai show.
this thing it's not because it's dark or anything. Because like I will always say, like stuff like Garo and Ultraman Nexus are like I think some of my favorite stuff is
Hmm.
because they're dark, yes, but like there's like hopeful message to them. Like Garo. Like the reason why I love Garo is because we have all these horrible things happening in that universe. So the horrors, how half the horrors are just influencing the bad trait of
Yeah,
human nature. But Garo, the Knight of Garo, is supposed to be the line that shines in the darkness. He's showed the hope in humanity and stuff, and that's what I love about that. Same with Ultraman Nexus. Like, yes, that is a very dark and grim show a lot of times, but Ultraman is still the light that people look for, and that's why Superman is my favorite superhero. Also, is
yeah.
essentially how the world is, especially now.
You will love Boom Boonger.
Yeah, I didn't even get the time to watch it.
Yeah.
It's
No,
one episode.
I really do think you'd enjoy Boom Boonger because Boom Boonger has managed to have it has dark elements to it at times, but it has the Sentai, like the classic Sentai vibe that doesn't exist in Don Brothers at all. It exists in King Oger after the first half is it's halfway into is when that vibe comes in. But Boom Boonger manages to keep things fresh while still keeping things classic, and I really appreciate it. And that's why I love Boom Boomger. And it's like, when we rank it later, I'm probably gonna rank it S tier because it's like top 10 shows for me at this point because I really love Boom
Yeah,
Boomger.
I mean, like I definitely think Boom Ranger. From what I see, like I don't
Like,
like
I
the
don't want
suit.
Boom Boomger to end. Legitimately, like, as excited as I am to see what Gozyuger does, I'm not ready for Boom Boomger to end because I've enjoyed it so
Yeah,
much.
because everything I see with Boom Ranger looks really good.
Yeah.
I just don't like the suits, but that's I can ignore the suits
Yeah,
easily.
if you can get over the
Uh,
suits, and especially once they get their champion jackets, it's like, oh, no,
Yeah, no, I didn't even think having to add a lot to the
yeah.
suits. But yeah, no, everything I see with the Ranger looks cool. I like I seen like the mech fights look
Mm,
cool. When they went to see, I honestly because I think the CG honestly looked better than the mecha than let's say Human Rider
yeah.
CG. And such like that, the characters look fun and such like that. It just seems like a good vibe. And I know the writer and The writer is, no, I want to know people like I don't hate New Way's writing at all because I honestly one of my favorite games RPGs of all time is Fairy Fencer F, and he's the main writer of that game. And I like the writing in that game, but maybe because I think his writing does not fit with Sentai at all. Like even though I don't like Fies, Kamen Rider always had that kind of tragicness to it. So
He also did that in Jetman.
I think
The thing is,
well,
he did Jetman and he did Dawn Brothers. That's been his Sentai, and they both feel like writer shows in the way that they're
What's funny
approached.
is I love Jetman.
Yeah,
But then again, I don't hate Don Brothers, but it's weird to me, even though I love Jetman.
yeah. I think
Same
like,
writer, yeah. Way, right?
I think also
yeah.
like you with Don Brothers, like as a fan of Tokusatsu, the art form is a abomination to me. There's a as a lover of Tokusatsu, and especially someone who's into animation, who's trying to learn animation, CG, 2D, all that. Don Brothers is a bleach to my eyes every time I see it because
As someone that
I
knows
know,
filmmaking, that show drives me insane.
yeah, because I
Yeah.
get it, totally budget, blah blah blah, time constraint, all that stuff. But so that
They shouldn't even done it. The thing I've
Yeah.
talked to Cows about this, there was no reason to make two of the Rangers CG at all.
Legit.
There's no
Legit.
story reason. There's no justification for it. They did it just
Yeah.
cause, and I hate that for
As
it.
someone who cares about the animation industry,
Mm.
it is horrendous. The state totally put
Yeah.
Don Brothers in. It's like if you can handle having two Rangers being CG on a weekly 50-episode show, don't do it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it at all.
There was zero reason to do it, and I think that that's something King Oger improved on. While King Oger had arguably more CG, they had a better production timeline because they used augmented reality walls instead of everything being CG.
King Oger, and King Oger uses CG smartly. It's not two main characters; it's mecha fights and backgrounds.
Yep, and and a lot of the backgrounds, some of the backgrounds got weird with the It's Kyle. It's not the worst CG ever made, but it is CG that doesn't serve a purpose. It's CG for the sake of, oh my god, guys, look at the two CG Rangers. There's no actual reason to do it. The thing is, usually CG in Tokusatsu is like the way that like CG in Tokusatsu is used to amplify or enhance or do things they can't physically do. But with Don Brothers, with those two characters, they had no reason to be CG. King Oger had a reason to use CG backgrounds because they're on another planet. They're in these, fancy kingdoms. Like, there's a story reason.
They're using the high fantasy of it. They're using it for high fantasy.
Don Brothers, I waited 50 episodes for it to explain to me why two of the Rangers turn into a tall pheasant and a tiny dog. Instead of just like
the hedgehog
character. Yeah. There never was a reason for that. There was never a reason for it. It was just there for no reason. And it ends up causing those two Rangers to not be in as many scenes because of it. And
it ruins storytelling.
Yeah, it was a baffling choice, and they never explained why. And that's the biggest problem with it. It's not even just the quality of the CG, as much as that there was no reason to do it.
And as someone who has a partner, whose whole job is animating in CG, I know the goods and bads of that scenario because we talk every day, and such as that. And I can't, now knowing what he has to deal with, I cannot look at Don Brothers with, oh, it's not that bad because it's a TV show.
Because all you see is the exploitation of the people that made it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah,
I run into that all the time. I know that well.
That's why I can't stand it. It is a very personal thing, I know, but like it is a very much to the heart kind of thing. It's like if I'm, it's one of those things where I stand against AI, generative AI stuff, and because it's not good for artists, and I'm gonna stand against obvious bad forms of crunch and stand-in stuff. It's things.
It makes it really hard for me to say it's Cross the Spider-Verse is a good movie because of the working conditions behind it. Like, it's a good movie, but I have to put an asterisk on it because they crunch those poor artists too much.
And even in that scenario, at least the art form they release is fantastic.
Yeah.
At least the product.
It was worth the blood, sweat, and tears and 6-day work weeks and the let's put the final scene together in 2 weeks before the premiere.
Art,
Um,
yes,
yeah,
that's the thing. Across the Spider-Verse, there's definitely a bunch of behind the scene problems, definitely, totally. But at least the final product, I can say you did a
yeah.
fantastic job. Please go rest. Where Don Brothers, I cannot look. I could just see, and all I can feel is like, I'm done for the day. Go home.
Yeah, because
Scenario.
from what I understand, it was more of an issue. Okay, yeah. Kyle is not trying to defend Don Brothers for clarification. Appreciate that. I will say that the thing that people talked about that work in VFX CG is that Don Brothers, the character models are under detailed because it's render time, right?
Hmm.
Like they couldn't make them look better because if they did, the render time, right? Like the Gorilla Grodd on the Flash TV show looks amazing, but they only had him in like what, 5 episodes, 6 episodes?
Episodes,
It was
yeah.
like one
The
episode a
Knuckles,
season because the render time
Knuck-
on
the
top.
Knuckles, the Knuckles series.
The Knuckles series, yeah. The render time is one of the biggest things. Yeah, Blade Runner didn't really complain. Boominger had plenty of CG early on with the highway dimension, but that didn't overstay its welcome. Yeah, after like 12 episodes, they're like, we're not going to be driving on
Yeah,
highway
and
CG
I'm
land anymore.
again, I'm
Yeah.
saying this as an artist. I am an artist at
Mm,
work day in day out, making sure I get commissions done and stuff like
yeah.
that. And I tell you, it can be stressful. To be real, like, it's been a tough month for me because I need to balance working with Sound's Marvel Rundown thumbnail, which was a big image, and I didn't want to half-ass it, but also trying to make sure my clients are happy. Because every client's like, "Hey, are you free yet? Are you free yet?" And
Mm,
Oh,
because
I get those email
and you don't,
messages too.
because and the thing is, like, I
I know
don't
how you
take.
feel.
And the thing for me and my commissions is I don't take the money right away. I wait until like I get to a point where they're happy. Like
That's usually what I do. Yeah.
I do
yeah.
sketch. I do sketch. They're happy to sketch. I do the line work. Show them the line work. If they happy, I'll tune the coloring. If they like the coloring, I send the invoice and get paid and do that and such. That's that's my thing because
My usual thing too.
yeah, that's how I do it because I do not want to take money and leave them hanging because I don't want to scam people. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so that and it was really stressful. It was really stressful this month because trying to balance because of the help I have my PC problem because I if you follow me on Blue Sky, I got a new PC because my laptop is so old. I couldn't. If you noticed on a few streams ago, my audio was going in and out. I was drawing the Marvel thumbnail while on the stream, and that was cutting my audio was going in and out because my
Mm.
PC was practically just imploding on itself because the Marvel thumbnail is a big image. Because I usually make a big image so I could get every single detail I can because as an artist I want to make sure it looks good, and it was suffering.
I spent 17
Um,
hours editing the Marvel Rundown, so I know the time sink of art to put it out there is tricky. Um, and I will tell you guys that the Marvel Rundown's done decent, but I have been a little bit let down by the overall view count for how much work both you and I put into it. Um, I was like, oh, that was all it got.
yeah,
And so artist burnout takes many forms, and it does affect the way we look at stuff. Like when you for me, like, and I was talking about this with Section 31 in the beginning too. Um, of the stream, when you learn how to make something and you look at the thing, you look at it through different eyes, right?
yeah.
And and ultimately, like, there's certain things your brain can't turn off, no matter how hard you try, and that's kind of how it is.
Yeah,
But
that's
on
why
that
like
note, we do need to get moving because we have
yeah,
toy
but
news
yeah,
to get to.
that's apologies for my TED talks about
No, it's
Sentai,
okay.
but like I feel like I feel like I need to say that because I feel like I see so many people in our Discord uh some Discord like talk about oh Don Brothers is so great, right? I'm like it's fine. Like again, you could
You
like I know
basically
how
want
to
to
like
say,
it.
I get you love Don Brothers. Stop trying to make me love it.
Yeah,
Which is my
because
thing with Jetman. I don't love Jetman, but people tried to convince me to love Jetman, and I'm like, it
You don't
doesn't
love
work that
Jetman?
way. I don't. I like parts of it, but I
Huh?
don't love it. And part of it
yeah,
is because for years people hogtied me and said, "You got to watch Jetman. It's the best Sentai ever." And then I
Oh,
watched
I
it, and I
hate
was
that.
like,
Oh,
it
I hate when
wasn't.
that happened to me with a couple shows where like even if they're good, I just people have done that so much to
Yeah.
me that I just hate. I just know. I'm like, nope.
And
No, you
yeah,
just
Yeah,
turn
no,
me
I
off.
100% because like, yeah,
I-
Mr. Yuki, but surely this unsolicited demand will change your opinion. Yeah, that's the thing is
Exactly.
like, I love Live Man and I tell people they should watch Live Man, but I leave it at
You
that. Like
never
I
beat me over the head over it, which is
exactly, I'm
good.
not like telling
so-
people you have to watch Live Man. It's the greatest Sentai
yeah,
ever. Like
yeah,
I
that's the
also
thing.
don't like Jew Ranger, and that's another show that people did that to me on too.
And that's the thing is like I don't like talking about these things like this like that like this hard because
Yeah.
I think as you if you everyone here has seen me talk about in these streams I rather discuss the things I love about them much because I am that
Mhm.
kind of autistic person of who I
I
will
think
go
also in
over
general we try to keep
um,
positive on these streams, which
yeah
is why I
so,
was
like,
like
Usually,
dreading talking about Section 31 because I didn't like it, and I was like,
yeah
God, now I gotta really discuss it
well,
because yeah,
sometimes you gotta,
you got to do it, yeah. And
well,
in
yeah
that regard, I do have a complaint about Gozyuger.
yeah, but that's why like I'll
Oh,
always talk about why I love Sonic
Yeah,
or Ultraman or Undead Luck, even though I can't because that's spoilers for everything and stuff like
yep.
that. Because those things mean so much to me and their storytelling is a positivity that I and
Not
Superman
to put
also
a Don
is.
Momotaro image up, but there's a thing going on
uh,
in the trailer, uh, where there's a Don Momotaro wearing the gold belt from the Gozyuger and holding a silver Tega sword, and there's also a Ryu Soul Red doing the same thing. And so it's a silver Tega sword. This is not the legend changes for the Gozyuger. This is somebody else or multiple people else.
like
Um,
probably the main human antagonist, if I had to guess.
Probably. There was a discussion of rival rangers and listings, but this shot here, which is Goju Leon using the Boom Boomger ring, is how the legend changes are going to work for this because it's an anniversary season. Of course, they're doing this. Where you can see the reason why everybody has like a chest plate is because the chest plate's going to go over the past Sentai suit, and then they'll be able to use the powers of that past Sentai in conjunction with their own.
I am so tired. I think because if Don of sorry I hate hating going over Don Brothers. Like
I
if
know
Don
it's a circle like Don. So I was like, we got to talk about Don Brothers again because they just did this, right?
That's me. Like, if it wasn't for Don Brothers using it for no reason at all, I would have no problem with it. But I am
Yep.
so sick of Legend transformations now.
One thing I'm
it's kind
disappointed.
of yeah.
It's so played out, and one thing I'm disappointed
hmm
about is those big empty circles in the chest. We all
Don't have the
thought
logo. Yeah,
they
they
were
got
going to
the
have
logo.
the logo of whatever power they're
I think,
using, but they
I
clearly
think
aren't.
it will. Okay, I think it will for the first. Like, like when they transform, it'll light up.
This is
And
like
then
mid
all that
transformation
stuff.
here because you can see the ring behind him. So,
Cause I think
I don't
I'm
know.
curious. I'm curious, but like, cause I think that's what's implied that they're when they first transfer, the light would shine. Like it'll be like a CG effect where the light would shine
Yeah, I'm
on
hoping
the
it does
symbol.
because that black void in the chest is the thing I don't like about the suits. But maybe that'll get filled
I
in.
mean,
Like,
Kai, I know it's probably
yeah.
gonna be used more device than numbers, but it wasn't for Don. Like the thing is,
I
like,
mean, Don Brothers put it in the trailer, and they only used it like a handful of times, so we'll have to see. Oh, that's a good point, Spin Dash. For Zen Kaiser, will they have to wear their armor over his armor?
that'd be, that'd
Convoluted,
be
but
weird.
I
I think
I do think this is the most overplayed gimmick in Sentai.
also it's because they keep bringing the Gokaiders back. I'm just tired of it.
Yeah,
I think
it's
also doesn't help that I think it's gonna be only reds because that's the the
yep,
whole gimmick is only reds. So
it's the most
eh.
blatant. Like, it's the most blatant. We're selling toys, right, Cows?
Here's it, Kaiju
Yes, very much so.
Here's it,
Mm.
Kaiju mentions the fatigue of New Gen Ultra for a while, even though they haven't done it in 3 years. No, 4 years. The thing is with
At
Ultra, the
least that
thing is,
was different. It was they were
no,
fusing
it's
things. They weren't
different.
just pulling an old
They're
suit out and slapping a prop on it. Yeah,
The only time they did that was in Ginga once with
yeah.
Chica. That's the thing. That's why, like, yeah, I know people are frustrated in terms of legacy gimmicks, but like for Ultra for a while, but at least they did something creative with it. Mayo, it's always fusions,
Common
but
JoJo says 35, 46, 47, and now 50. Sentai has done the gimmick only 4 times in 50 years. Wrong, because this is technically just the 49th show. So we basically only took King Oger and Boom Boonger off of this gimmick. It's only been 2 years since we did this gimmick. And
again, they
that's where
keep
my
bringing back,
problem is.
they keep bringing back the Gokaiders.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
Gokaigers we just had a Gokaiger come back in Boom Boonger. So we've already just seen this gimmick like a couple weeks ago.
it
So
makes the
yeah.
excitement of seeing these suits again less thrilling to me.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
just
also Ryu's soldier turned into Lupin Ranger that one time. Yeah, that's kind of the problem, I think, is that we've gotten this gimmick. It's not just like the seasons that use it, but like the individual appearances. Like it doesn't have any flair to it because we just did this like 3 years ago, right? And we just did this. We just did this for Dawn Brothers, and it was that the year after we did it for Zenkaiger, even though it was different. They weren't using the suits, but the team
Gokai
still
10,
showed
the
up.
Gokai 10 years
Gokai
ago
10
came
movie
out.
came out. Yeah, we've done this so much. I'm just kind of tired of it. That being said, I kind of want to collect the rings because the designs are really cool.
Yeah, because at least when I was like, 'cause at least when Comrade does the legacy game, they always do something different. It's not everyone's decade,
Yeah,
bro. Like Zio used
it's
armor
only
and stuff
just
like that.
Decade and Legend.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Legend's supposed to be a decade ripoff. So like,
yeah, he's
you
the
know,
Decade when because they can't get Masahiro Inoue to show up. Yeah,
we had decade at home.
yep,
Scenario.
yeah. All right, well, let's move on because I think we've talked a lot about Sentai. I think it's time to take a look at a new topic entirely. Do you guys get any final thoughts on Gozyuger while I set up the toy news?
No.
Again, I will watch it and see how it is, and if I don't like it, I'll just not watch it. Scenario.
Yeah, it's a good,
And
healthy way to do things.
I let people know I am not going in to dislike it. I'm always going because I legitimately get Don Brothers a fair shot. I didn't like myself Don Brothers trailers, but I came in with a fair because I watched more. I watched more than Soundout, for example, when it first came
Yep.
out. I legitimately gave Don Brothers a fair shot when it came out and didn't like it. So it's not like I'm going into these seasons with a cynical brain because I hate cynical people. I am the least cynical person ever. Cynical person ever. It just I think it's kind of the case of burnout for
Yep.
me with Sentai, and which is ironic 'cause I love Ray Rich Isekai, which is so ironic for me because I love Ray Rich Isekai, but maybe because I think Ray Rich Isekai just remind me why I love Sentai in the first place. I think it's
Yes.
the thing. I feel like it's the
I think you
scenario.
should try Gozyuger, and if you don't like it, just start Boom Boonger and just watch it
No, no, I
weekly.
do. Yeah, I
Just
know.
watch it
Again,
weekly.
Moonjer, I definitely want to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Give it a shot because again, everything I've seen from it, which is not a lot, but everything I've seen has a positive vibe, and that's what I
Yes.
want the most from Sentai is such a positive vibe.
It's also the whole
From it.
show's theme is taking control of your own life, and I love it.
Which is fitting with the writer, no, because it's not 5Ds in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds and Pokemon and such. Yeah.
Wait, he wrote, what do you wrote for Pokemon?
I don't know. He wrote some. I just his credits include Pokemon. I don't know which seasons. I don't think he was a head writer,
It just
but
says Pokemon,
just
Probably
Pokemon.
guess writer.
which is so that's helpful because how long is Pokemon been going?
Exactly. I will say, the three villains. There's it's basically just Jeffy James and Meowth in Sentai.
I do love the little car lad. I love
Yes.
him.
No, they're the best. Those three are like my favorites.
I wish does he become a headmaster, the car dude?
Kinda, but not like as much as we would have liked.
Oh.
But he's
Anyways,
adorable. All right,
speaking of being number one in Kings, is it time to be King of the Pirates?
it's time for me to start covering Lego news. We got the official announcement that Lego One Piece is coming.
Specifically Netflix One Piece.
Specifically Netflix One Piece, which we had listings for. There's apparently 5 sets, 4 retail sets, and a direct-to-consumer one.
You know, it's funny. That's
got-
something I wouldn't have asked for, but I also am like, you know what? That
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
I see so many people why not the anime, but I think because
I think Bandai has a license for building kits
Yeah,
of One Piece anime because I have all their ship models.
well, I don't think it's even specifically the model kits. I think specifically there is like Lego like things in Japan that
Yes.
has some totally brand stuff and such. I think also because I think Lego's big thing is kid friendly stuff, and well, One Piece is definitely not the most kid friendly franchise.
Even the live action's not super kid friendly, but it fits in that PG-13 bubble.
Yeah,
right?
like families can watch. Families can watch Netflix One Piece.
Little Timmy can watch live action One Piece and not question how large breasts should be.
Yeah. Oh boy, can't wait for the minifig of Boa Hancock.
Yeah, that's you know what I mean? Like, it just, the live action has a little bit of realism to it that kind of helps some of the problems that people have with the anime, right? Like, I don't know why that was my go-to example, but I was looking over and I saw this
Oh,
this Nami
that's the
statue I have, and that was my brain was just like,
that is the
as
big
I saw the
hole.
Nami statue, I looked at the live action one, and I was like, well, that's the main difference.
I mean, that's the big hole. Why didn't they have the anime heroes of Robin and Nami yet? Little
Exactly.
they like
How much they
er,
sell? You know how quick I'd buy those?
I
yeah,
know,
but little Timmy will
but,
see
li-
them in the
but little
Target.
Timmy might have an awakening earlier than people want. Um,
No,
Oh no.
doesn't imagine the Target employee. They get the box for the anime hero new shipment. And they open
and it's
it.
just
They
Nami wearing jeans, high heels, and a
in a
swimsuit top, and it's just like, oh, what are we selling now?
is this whoever's serving for toy kids and
It
toys?
makes sense in context. She's in like tropical environments. Like, of course she's wearing that. It makes sense. But like
Say put them in a glass case or something. I don't know.
a 2-pack on Amazon. Simple
Dude, no,
simple
at
solution.
least pre and Bandai. I'm pre and Bandai anime heroes.
That's true. Just something. Anyways, the press release talked about how they're going to experience iconic moments and scenes in the live action adaptation in a new way ahead of the epic return in One Piece season 2. We do know these are scheduled for August. I think One Piece season 2 is going to come in August.
Actually, the girl did mention. Yeah, I think actually, yeah, Nano Blocks. I think Nano Blocks is I think
Yes, that's right.
Japanese brick brand, and they
Yep.
do a lot of Toei. Like I know there's Dragon Ball. Hold on, let me double
Yeah.
check. Is there One Piece Nano bricks? Nano
Let's
bricks.
see. AR says, I mean, it's only fair since Luffy is shirtless most of the time. Exactly. It's the double standard.
Yep.
I tried to touch on the double standard thing when we talk about Marvel
yeah.
Legends. When I was like, look at Kazar, a naked man in a loincloth and boots. And then I'm like, why can't we get Shauna? Like, if we're doing mostly naked people. It is a double standard thing. Because like I'm looking at like Mihawk doesn't have a shirt, Ace doesn't have a shirt, Zoro's boobs are bigger than Nami's in some angles. I mean, come on. Like
Frankie.
Frankie, yeah. Frankie doesn't even wear pants.
No, there's no Nano Blocks One Piece, but again, I think it's definitely more of the
Yeah.
whole age rating thing.
There
for
is
One Piece.
a unsubstantiated rumor that the direct-to-consumer set is anime-based, but no one can confirm that.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Also, Netflix and Lego have a relationship. They've done sets for Wednesday and some other shows.
And Stranger Things.
Yeah. I
Oh,
always forget
I'm-
Stranger Things exists. I don't
I'm
know
actually,
why.
I'm not sure about the anime being direct to consumer. I'm curious because I think the One Piece Netflix is a separate license
It
because
is.
because if you go there's One Piece Netflix toys like specific
Yep.
One Piece Netflix.
I have
there's
some little minifigures, and the plushes I got are like specifically Netflix One Piece.
there's like a hero Gujitsu like Luffy, which is like the smartest
Yeah.
thing ever. Because like yeah, there you go, Stretch Armstrong and Luffy. There you go.
So it is
There's that.
confirmed to be, and there's also they do say a historic moment as we build out the treasured manga's adventures in Lego form for the first time ever. It's been a lot of things we've noticed with the One Piece when they refer to the original. When they refer to the original One Piece stuff, they always refer to the manga. They don't refer to the anime when they're talking about the Netflix.
Yeah, we talked about this before. It is definitely the
Yeah.
case where licensing and all that stuff.
Yep. So anyways, they kind of go into that. There was a little video that showed Luffy's hat and his stretched arm. And then this was the best thing ever. Oda drew artwork for this.
I love it. Also, welcome back, Kamal Khan / Elastic Girl
Arms.
stretchy arm piece.
Yep. So Oda wrote a message saying, Lego sets are coming. Even now I have dozens of Lego boxes piled up at my workplace that I haven't even had time to dig into. There's no tool or toy out there. For 25 years since the anime started, I've been asking for a Lego toy, and finally my dream is being fulfilled, the live action collection. Thank you to the Labro Group. Woohoo. You bet I'll be building and displaying them.
I love the little, like,
Nobody
Ichi
is a
Oda-
bigger fan of One Piece than Eiichiro Oda, creator of One Piece.
I love the Ichi Oda Lego styled font there at the bottom.
Yes. But this does give us a look at what Lego Luffy looks like.
I mean, besides the leaks.
Besides the leaks, but even then we didn't see the body or the face. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think you should review these because I think most of the Lego reviewers out there don't even know what One Piece is.
I was looking at Lego YouTubers videos on it, and there was some that were like, "Oh, I've only seen the live action, so I'm excited for this," or some that are like, "Maybe I should get into this," and I'm like, I'm gonna probably review these like I did the X-Men set, right? Like I did the X-Mansion.
You bring out your 4 box sets. I have the research.
Exactly. I think I'm probably gonna do that because I enjoyed making that X-Mansion video.
Cass, you know the clip of Goro putting the watermelon on the table? I imagine that sounded with One Piece pulling down his manga collection.
Yes. anyways, I'm excited to see more. We're gonna cover it because I'm so excited. It's exciting. So I'm.
Also, man, I will say I love the Netflix One Piece theme. It's a really good like
It
pirate
is.
like theme. Pirate
It's
theme.
it's very. I like the music in the live action. It's very piratey. It makes me miss pirate movies.
Yeah, because like I'm glad it's nice that we have another pirate that isn't just Pirate of the Caribbean.
Yep. All right. Next up, Jack Pacific. Quick piece of news. It's not much. This is the next wave of Sonic figures officially set for release in April. It is Soap Shoes Sonic,
Sonic.
hopefully without breakdancing neck like mine has.
My neck is not that loose like yours, but it definitely is a lot more looser.
Yeah.
I do. Jack says. I hope we do get a because Jax did do a recast of our Mario's recently, so like hopefully that means like
I hope they did it to Sonic
recast.
because if you guys saw my review, I can twirl his head.
Also, no, that isn't like a full reuse Bible. He does have a more bent 90-degree elbow, so there is a slight difference.
Anyways, there's a reissue of SBO, a reissue of Classic Tales if you didn't get the 4-pack.
Well, more of the proper single release.
The single release.
Classic Tales.
And then Classic Amy.
That's so weird she's released this soon. Like, I'm almost surprised to see.
It's almost back to back, right? Because she was in 18 and then she's in 20.
Yeah, it's like that's so because when the listings first came out, a lot of people thought it was gonna be like either a modern Amy release or a resculpt, which I kind of hope is a resculpt because the modern Amy's too big.
Yeah.
But like I was so surprised to see so soon. It's like is another classic Amy release. Like, geez, I mean, nice that. I hope that means more release of rare characters are coming because.
Also, for me, it means the only figure I need out of this is another Soap Shoes Sonic to use as shoes.
And even then, yeah, so you can make,
I make my Sonic Adventure 2 Supersonic idea.
I might do that also. And since he's Sonic, it'll be, plentiful.
Sure, yeah, the one I want from this wave is the easiest one to get. That's refreshing.
There's also a listing of
Wave 21, yeah.
Wave 21, which has Armor Trip is one of the figures.
Yes.
Which is really nice to hear. Hope we get unarmored. I'll get both no matter what. But I'm
sure they'll make both. Yeah, Muteki's still waiting on Charmy B. I still would like to see a bigger Charmy than the 2.5 inch, or just re-release the 2.5 inch. Like that is
so surprised because we also got a sort of leak of the next wave of the checkline Walmart figures SPO 2.8 SPO, and he's the only new figure. No figure there. I'm like, come on, really? I'm surprised Charmy has never got a hit Borobot. Him and Borobot, like the Waymate partners. I'm weird.
Like, what happened to the Charmy mold? Did someone steal it? Like,
because the Borobot got released in that multi-pack of the classic characters, so he got one release. So I'm not buying a multi-pack from just Borobot.
Because the thing is, like, the Charmy is the most in-demand 2.5 inch figure out there.
Because he's the only unique. Because that's the problem. He's the only unique character. I mean, technically the Badniks are, but like Badniks. Badniks are Badniks. So he's the only main character is a mook.
He's in such hot demand that he's going for stupid money online. Why not at least re-release him?
Yeah.
And also, why not make a 4-inch one? Because cream got 4-inch.
Yeah, because you technically get the scale.
Yeah.
The scale technically should be cream. Yeah.
All right, next up, we're gonna start flying through stuff because I'm getting tired. Mafex.
Yep.
Mafex has announced Robin. This is the Hush Robin. So it's a Tim Drake Robin. It's finally coming out. We've gotten all these Hush Batman Mafex figures, and we finally got a Robin.
He looks great. Like
he actually does.
I didn't.
Mafex is pretty good. No,
I don't hate the McFarlane. I don't hate the McFarlane Tim Drake they released, but like I like this. He was super. I did like the head sculpt in that one. I like the head sculpt.
This is too bulky. This has got the leanness. Yeah.
This guy's like what, $100 though, or more.
Yeah, if you play Yen Bingo like I do, you can get them for about 80.
Oh yeah, Yen. Yeah, you're right.
See you later, Common Jojo. I played Yen Bingo. Yen Bingo is that what I just call it? Yen Roulette. I played Yen Roulette and won. I paid for my Junk Warrior today, and I basically got Sabo for $10 because of the yen difference.
The yen just being not great right now.
Rough.
Bad for them, good for us.
Yep. Bad overall. Good for the time being for me to save a little money on toys. Overall, Killmonger from Black Panther. This is the most accurate one that's ever been released.
I like the texture.
That's nice.
A lot of them miss the texture. He's always been kind of too smooth. I really like the texture. I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. This is a
Yeah,
good
because
suit. I like this
sometimes
one.
sometimes I feel like Japanese imports, the face sculpt, like the actor like this are not great, but it's like this one's really good, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Mhm.
I do like it. I think the smiling head's great too.
Hey, it's he cats.
Yes. Yes. We've got in the world of Mattel, they have formally revealed it's their Masters of the Universe Thundercats line. And I got to tell you, it confuses me. So first of all, I wish these images would stop moving on this
But I
website.
kind of wish I could enlarge them. I hate
There
that.
we go. There we go. I figured it out. Just open a new tab. All right. So obviously they're making Battle Cat as a Thundercat.
He's kind of I love it.
Anybody with two brain cells looking at the announcement of Masters of the Universe Thundercats knew they were going to do Battle Cat as a Thundercat, right?
I kind of love it, but also he's kind of cursed at the same time. Man cat.
Blurst.
This
Blurst.
man cat.
He's cool though. I like him. Next up, here's Chitara. And Chitara and Lion-O have this interesting thing. With the Ninja Turtles Motu line, they were very much
They're stuck as being Motu figures, pretty much.
Right. But they had some Motu elements. Here it looks like they just made Chitara and then they just attached like armor on top of her.
Yeah, I think these are honestly really cool because you can make them either Thundercats with like Master's armor, or just regular Thundercats in an origin scale. I think
also,
that's
I can't
really
believe Origins got wig tech before Marvel Legends.
No, Odin.
Okay, outside of Odin.
But so, I think that's really cool.
I like it because you could just have classic Thundercats, or you can Motu them up a little bit. I am a little bit worried about these ankle pegs.
Yeah.
Because that's not been the sturdiest part in the female Origins figures before, but
I like Chitara coming with like a Jaga looking like helmet thing.
Yeah.
Because like didn't 2011 give her
2011
like
she was like the student of Jaga.
Yeah, so I like that. I'm not sure that's something a nod to that, but that's really cool.
Probably is. Let's look at Lion-O because I think Lion-O's my favorite of these.
Yeah, no. I'm like, cause I was thinking getting the Super 7 like wanting to get at Target, but I might get this instead.
Fair warning with the Super 7 one from Target. I had to boil him for like 5 minutes to get him to move. He was so
that's
stiff.
what I mean. That's what I mean. I don't know if I want to get him or not. So like now seeing this like,
and this is 20. This is playable.
Yeah, no, I'll get this because because that's the thing. Like like I know the Super 7 figure will scale well with the Revelations. I don't know. I like having the Origins figure next to each other more. Honestly.
I do definitely think I'm probably going to display these in the classic looks more so than the Motuified looks, but I like having the options. I think that's the best part.
And that's the thing about the Origins of their toys, and I like their toys.
Definitely. And Blade Raider says, I like that they can be normal Thundercats because there's no affordable Thundercats on the market. Yeah, exactly. How do I get to Mumra? Hold on, I gotta get to Mumra.
Skelera.
Skelera. This is the one that actually feels like a crossover.
Mumdor.
So it's Skeletor's head on Mumra's body, basically.
It's one figure. It's one figure.
It's one figure.
It's not, so, well, I mean, technically, it's still. Well, remember, Skeletor has a blue man body. So they both have blue men body.
It kind of. It's funny. They took some inspiration from the Masters of the Universe Thundercats comic that DC did, because they also had Skeletor and Mumra fused, and they also had a Battle Cat, like Thundercat. So this falls in line with that. I think it's really cool though that just like the others, you can swap them into a Mumra form.
There's also nice massive Skelly God vibes.
Yes.
Also.
Oh, totally.
And like
Skeletor God also comes from those comics.
I mean, God damn it! I don't get what people say. Skelly God's one of the best things to come out of Revelations. He's
so cool.
One of my favorite things. Such a cool design.
I also like that the cape is two-sided. It's red on the inside here, but you can flip it to blue. You can just turn it around, and then it can be for the Skeletor form.
You know what's cool? That's also cool because it could be also like a cool cape. Also, you can like pose it down, move it down.
AR, these are Origins, but this is a bigger figure because he's 30, not 20.
He's the deluxe. He's like the deluxe figure.
And he looks to be a bigger mold, I think, overall.
He's like the what's the giant called again? Granador.
Granamir,
or
it's more like the Andre the Giant from the WWE line.
Was that also the Krang? Was that also like the Krang of the Turtle Grace?
Yeah, the Krang was also a bit bigger too. MRI LZY said it might be all in on these. I'm probably all in on these too because I love Thundercats.
Like I don't know. I see some mixed feelings on them. I like these a lot.
I like them.
I'm a Masters fan. I'm a Thundercats fan, and as toys are just cool. I like these kind of figures a lot.
Blade Raider says, I think Lion-O's He-Man armor would look better if the armor was gold like his claw and the fur was sky blue. That Yeah, like in that kind of be cool. I think there's a lot of custom potential too. Like if you don't like the colors, you could practice
Uh,
painting on these
there's
pretty
one thing
easily.
for 2011 I wish came back is the Mankai Knight Thunder lion
Yeah,
armor. That was
that
like the
was fun.
coolest thing. Those were the coolest things for 2011, man.
All
I
right,
love
well, more
that.
on those in the future. Next up, we have some Star Trek toy news. So at London Toy Fair, Master Replicas had on display a Bradward Boimler, a Jean-Luc Picard, and a William Riker action figures. These haven't been officially announced yet, and they look to be articulated action figures of 2 Season 3 versions of Picard and Riker from Picard, and then a Lower Decks Boimler. The interesting
Hello.
part is they are serial numbered 0001, 0002, and 0006. And we don't know anything else beyond that.
Yeah, these are a mystery right now. Like also
Yeah.
because Master Replica also tweeted out previously about stolen. Our booth was broken into.
Yeah, their booth at Nuremberg was stolen. They lost some stuff,
Oh
and
man.
they can't say what the stuff is because it hasn't been officially revealed.
Brave Raider. Any idea the size these are? These look honestly like 5-inch.
They
at the
look
very
5-inch,
least.
but I have no I'm looking at the Enterprise plaque behind them. They could be 4-inch because I
I
have one of
do.
those plaques. That's kind of it's large, but not like gigantic.
I do hope that these guys are retail like price because I'm looking at them. They look nice, but like see, and they come with nice accessories. But like I'm
Yeah.
looking at like the articulation on like Picard and
Boimler is
Riker.
articulated like a Star Wars Kenner figure.
Which I mean, to be fair, look at his noodle design. I do love they went animation accurate with his
Yes.
design.
I do like it, but he is articulated with 5 POA. Picard and Riker look like they're articulated like the Playmates figures, the Neo Playmates
Because I
figures.
yeah, 'cause honestly, like we discussed this in your Discord, these honestly look like I think what's Playmate's figure should have been.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's not the variety. I mean, hell, having lower decks here,
yeah, it
gives
blew my
better
mind that they
variety.
never did Lower Decks at Playmates.
Well, because
Um,
it's an adult show, I guess. But then Discovery was
but they
also
had the license for it. They had the license for just all the shows.
yeah. So
Playmates had the license for the entire Star Trek library. And now it
yeah,
does seem like, and we did hear from Nacelle when they were talking about their line that they didn't have the license to the newer stuff. This is where the license to the newer stuff seems to be.
yeah. Because
It would be nice if they were compatible, but
to the key track people. So Hyatt Toys has Kelvin timeline
in 3 and
and
3/4 inch as well as
and
6-inch,
Strange New World.
yes,
Uh,
and
the
no
cell
women.
had the cell has TOS to
Enterprise.
Enterprise, and these look like I guess just the Paramount Plus era. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's the Discovery to now era.
No,
Um,
except I guess Prodigy because Playmates. Playmates made some lasting originals of those maybe.
wait, I'm seeing. What is that 5 on the side of the box, or is that an S? No, that's an S. Never mind.
Yeah, no, that's no wait, Delta
Oh, Delta
Bur-
series.
Delta series.
They're
Okay,
called
so that's the
Delta
one.
series. Also,
Right,
there's
that's
a
the one.
Strange New World Spock right next to Picard, and I just noticed it. Okay, so they also got Strange New Worlds.
He's fallen over also.
He's also fallen over. These are very early.
So Master Replicas, what else have they done? Because I am not. Did
They
do
made the
Moopsie plush?
Moopsie.
I was like, did they even do Moopsie plush?
They made the
Okay,
Moopsie plush. They've done prop replicas. They picked up a lot of stuff from Eagle Moss, like the ships, before they moved to Fan Home. There's like a plaque behind there. They're usually like prop replica stuff. They do figures, but they're usually statues.
I don't know what Kyle means by Bandai America. Because,
It's
I
like
don't-
if Bandai America you mean from like 2009, but not Bandai of America now. They do much better looking stuff.
I gotta say, what's up with your weird stigma with Bandai America? They're not the same company like they used to be.
Bandai America during like Megaforce when they were that style. Oh, never mind. Oh, Kyle's actually right. Sorry. Thanks for the clarity. The joke being there's no women. It reference to Hio Toys having no women. There's no women Bandai America. Okay, yeah, it's true.
I mean, to be fair, to tell you about Bandai problem, it's a toy company.
It's a toy company problem, but even current Bandai America struggles with that.
Yeah.
Because the thing that annoys me about the Hio Toys line is that they announced every main character from the first Kelvin movie, plus the villain, plus Pike, but yet no Uhura, and they moved on to Strange New Worlds.
Here's the problem, and that's the thing with Bandai America.
One figure would finish that set. One figure, and they didn't nick it.
Here's the thing, but Bandai America at least have a sort of excuse because it's a retail toy product for kids,
Yeah.
technically. Yeah,
Kia
has
Toys is exclusive to comic shops through
collector.
Diamond Distribute. Oh crap!
They're collector toys. They're collector toys, not they're collector toys.
I just realized they get distributed by Diamond.
Oh yeah,
And
Diamond went bankrupt.
Diamond went bankrupt. Anyways, I'm reviewing the Hia Toys figures on Wednesday. I have thoughts. I'm excited to see what they do with these because I'm glad to see Lower Decks getting stuff besides just the Exo statues that still haven't come out. So
Get the moops at the very least.
we have the Moopsie, and I have a Tom Paris plate. So,
anyways,
thanks for clearing it up, Kyle. What you meant because we were confused. The time delineation between chat and live is tricky. All right, Star Wars had a little like live stream thing I didn't watch, but they announced a.
I didn't watch the Star Wars stream, but when I saw like Pre-Eternia tweet them out, I always saw like 5. Like that's it.
It wasn't much. So
the thing is, it was all Ahsoka. I understand, right?
Not quite. So we got Black Series, Ahsoka, Anakin. Who I'm glad they went all cloth on the robe part because that's been the problem with the previous versions. I'm gonna get this because I'm a sucker, but
honestly, the face look a bit better than the DH effects they use on Hayden in the series.
Then we also got our Phase 1 Captain Rex finally, who does not have a cloth skirt, which is a bummer. It's always ups and downs with this line. Like you get cloth on Anakin, but no cloth on Rex, and it's like.
Get Star Wars. I don't collect Star Wars at all, but I might grab it because I love Rex.
It's a good, and hopefully he's not as hard to find as the Phase 2.
And I'm a Phase 1 guy. I'm not too big on the Phase 2 look of Rex. So you put that Mando T visor always like I love a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You should you should get it. You should get it. Pull the helmet off and put it on a random human body. There's 2009 Soundout.
That's actually an option. Damn, I should actually get it. So it's Law Dorman says sad thing about Ahsoka Anakin is he mainly reused so he has the 2013 Anakin legs just suck. I don't take that as suck because they're actually double jointed and I like those legs better.
It's got better articulation.
It's got better articulation. That was it for Black Series. For Vintage Collection, there was a Battle Droid 4-pack, which is smart because Army Builder. Roger. How many different versions of the same image is there?
They love the Rogers.
Okay. There was Vintage Collection Balin's Skull from Ahsoka Season 1, which is nice to see. R.I.P. Ray Stevenson.
His lightsaber looks like a lollipop.
Yeah, why is his lightsaber not clear plastic? All the lightsabers are usually clear plastic. What the heck? Maybe that's just a prototype thing. Why does it say figure does not fly on an image of him standing?
I think just in general.
It's only on that one image, though.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
Maybe he's floating. Maybe he's a floating PNG, so that's why.
We also got the 501st Legion Trooper Phase 2 edition, which is there. That's cool. That's technically Obi-Wan Kenobi series branded, which makes sense.
It's weird. When I see this guy, I don't think 501st Legion. I think, oh, look, that's the guy on the front cover of Battlefront 2 and on the original Battlefront 2.
We got a Mandalorian here. I think this is like the leader one from Clone Wars Season 7. So, but he's listed as an Ahsoka because of the flashback thing.
The Mandalorians are super cool to me.
Mm-hmm. And then we got Shin Hati to go with Balin's Skull. Her lightsaber actually looks like clear plastic.
No, wait, that's what's the prequel to Rogue One again called? Andor. That was the Andor character you always called Mrs. Bitch or something.
A blonde bitch from Andor.
That's for Andor.
This is different. This is different. This is Shin Hati. They put this picture in here just to piss off Black Series fans, though. The Black Series Shin Hati and Balin's Skull were out of scale with each other.
Oh.
Balin was shorter than Shin. And then the Vintage Collection was like, look, we did it right this time. And I'm like, you re-released the Black Series ones a second time, and the only difference was you gave them a robe and the correct color lightsaber blades and didn't bother fixing the scale. And then you're going to do it for Vintage Collection, huh?
So what you're telling me is Vintage Collection is still continuing to be the better line.
Yes. Yeah, hey, Infinity War Torn. Yeah, no, they never fixed them for Black Series. And that was it. It was 2 Black Series figures And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 vintage collection figures in a 4-pack.
Man, why have these live streams of all already have this small?
Disney mandated because it was part of
Oh.
some like promotion campaign. That's it.
Oh yeah, that makes every Star Wars fan stream always feels like a Disney mandate. to
It's the
me.
entire line is Disney mandated. There was someone that left the Hasbro team that said, "Yeah, basically we're not allowed to do anything. Disney tells us what to do."
Yeah, that fits it.
And that's why the line sucks because
they're strangled. They're strangled.
they're so stranglehold. They can't even make their own choices. They have to wait for Disney to tell them they can do stuff. That's
It
why.
really is-
That's
it
why
really does
so
feel
much of the line is based on current media and not the legacy
It
stuff.
really does feel like Disney is a Darth Vader to Hasbro, the Star Wars team, like being the poor work employees there.
Yep. All right, McFarlane time. McFarlane time. All right, so McFarlane had some toy reveals. Here's the Captain Cold Collector's Edition, which went up for pre-order.
I love his needle chin so
I'm
much.
glad they went needle chin on it. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that smile. I'm not sure I love more the teeth gritting smile or that smug
The
face.
smirk is pretty good. We also have.
You know what's the best part? Look at the corner. Look at the where the McFarlane logo is. Read the fine print there.
The fine print that says "not a toy." Prototype shown. Final product subject change. Not a toy. Yeah, because he has a gun. Not a toy.
It's the freeze gun, but that's why look that the first Captain Cold they made was a page puncher was like a redesign to have a Mega Buster freeze gun, and Mr. Freeze has a permanent ice blast coming in. I love even though it's not even a gun at all, the freeze gun. They still had to put a toy.
Warner Brothers rules are stupid. All right, then we got Power Girl. She sold out in about 1.36 seconds, I think.
No, seriously, I got the link from Free Eternia, who it's like put those up entertainingly as the hour goes on. Click the link, hit pre-order, didn't work. Why did it send me back to my cart? Try to go hit again, didn't work. Reload the page, sold out.
She went up on By the time Big Bad updated for me to click Guy Gardner, her page was already sold out.
Like Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
that was so fast.
I will say it's nice that Streaky gets a cloth cape too.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think Crypto had a cloth cape also. But she looks great. I mean, I hope I could.
Blade Raider says, "Is the freeze gun normally pink because it's blue in the art?" Nope, it's normally blue. I don't know why it's pink. Because it's not a toy. Guy Gardner, he looks pretty good. He comes with 2 hairstyles. You get the modern style or the only appropriate style, the bowl cut. You also get the gaping void mouth.
Because I imagine what it is. You take out the face and you have something inside the face that's supposed to be inside the mouth. But man, without it, it's creepy as hell.
Yep.
That's a horror movie right there.
There's no picture, I think, with the open mouth. No, they didn't bother to put an image in of the open mouth.
My only complaint, I do like the city comes with, but I wish there was one construct he came with.
I'm kind of sick of lanterns only coming with a battery, because that's what Mattel did. They were like, "Here, we made a construct," and then they gave up after the first one.
Well, I wish it, because actually, this one's also labeled not a toy. That's wait, the Power Girls? Was Power Girl labeled not a toy also? Oh, they're all labeled not a toy. That's weird.
She's not a toy because boobies.
Yes. What's Guy Gardner's excuse?
He is a weapon.
yeah. But so because I wish the problem is the only lantern construct we have currently is armor, swords, and Kilowog's hammer, and the one gun from the first release Jon Stewart.
Yep.
So I kind of wish we get a little more constructs.
It'd be nice. I have all the Green Lanterns except for Kilowog.
I didn't get that 2-pack. I didn't get that 2-pack still.
So I got Guy, but couldn't get Power Girl. All right. And then lastly, we had some teasers. These are going up for pre-order on Wednesday. We've got Dark Flash from the Mark Waid run.
I'm actually looking forward to get it because I really love the Dark Flash story stuff.
It's a cool look too.
These are really good. I really like a story. Mike Fleischer
Superman with the cloth cape, which is nice to see.
I love his squinty eyes.
So squinty. Icon from the Milestone universe, which is his first ever action figure. He's a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, though, which is annoying, but I'll deal with it.
Specifically based on the Milestone Returns.
Yes, the Icon and Rocket Season 1 miniseries.
Please, a Rocket. We
need
have one
Rocket. He wouldn't be a hero without her.
And just did
Um,
they put the Justice League logo on the copyright? I'm not sure.
yeah, I don't know why they did that with Static as well. Static also had the Justice League logo on his box.
Maybe that's their evergreen. Like, oh, if they don't have a specific copyright, they just put Justice League.
I
Them on the
guess
Justice
there's
League.
always some weird thing with the milestone ownership. They can't just
I
outright
imagine,
use them.
yeah, 'cause I imagine why we haven't got that much before is because there must be some like weird, like it's because
Stuff with Ray McDuffie's estate, stuff with the other Milestone creators. Like they all have to like Milestone as a company has to sign off on anything that uses Milestone. DC just can't use them on their own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the case. So I imagine that's why. But this is what I'm gonna hopefully try to pick up because I mean it's a
Yep.
it's an icon figure. You never get icon.
It's probably the one and only we'll get.
Yep.
And then we have the most
Tempest.
unfortunate looking Tempest I've ever seen.
How come?
What is wrong with his face?
He's just smirking. He's
No,
smug.
it's the hair, the beard, like that also doesn't help the beard's not fully painted. Not my favorite Tempest look.
Because this is a current look.
It's Rebirth Tempest.
Yeah. Okay, Rebirth. Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. He
I mean,
didn't look like they picked they picked the most random look. This isn't how he looked in most of Rebirth. It's like
'Cause
end of
yeah,
Rebirth.
Really? Because I don't know. To me, this is when I think of like Tempest era, like when he's Tempest. I
I always
this
think of the
look.
black and red suit.
Huh? Because I think currently he has this outfit, like, at least an outfit similar.
Yeah,
to
this
his
is still his
currently.
current. This is still his current look.
And that's why, because that's the one currently. Well, he's currently, so that's why I may think.
Yeah,
of
it's the beard that's been throwing me off because a lot of his artwork looks like this. He didn't have a beard.
I'm glad we have a Tempest because like that's
Yeah.
super rare, right? Because I don't think there's ever
We
been
never
like that.
get him. We never get
We'll get Aqu- we
Aqualads
get
in
Aqu-
general, but like we never
I mean,
get
I feel
we
bad.
never
I
get
feel
Garth.
bad. I think Garth's a fine, good character.
Yeah.
I think Garth's a really good character, but Sally, I think because to be fair, I do like Calder much better, honestly.
I
But
like Calder better. I get why they use Calder more, and the thing with toys is like Aquaman barely sells. You're also going to sell Aquaman sidekicks. Like,
Yeah.
I get
Especially
it.
Aqualad, because now all the jokes is like Aqualad is still the most golly cheese.
Yep, I have the
Oh,
old
awesome.
DC Direct one standing in because it's like all we have, and it's that poor kid. That poor kid is all I can say. Yeah, no, Aqualad's character. I'm still waiting for a massive redemption arc on the way we got for Aquaman.
I know because I haven't checked up on them, but I wasn't too big at what they were doing with him recently. I'm not sure they redeemed that stuff recently
I
with
don't
him
remember.
and the current stuff. Anyways, Figuarts.
Figuarts. Let's wrap this up because I want to nap. We covered the Toys for Gozyuger last week, Spindesh. All right, so first up in Figuarts, Kamen Rider Valen Chakodon form is a premium Bandai exclusive. Yes, because we can't get more than one retail Figuart for the current Rider show anymore.
He comes with the sword.
Yep, he comes with his gun. He comes with his like little Gojicho things. He's got his chocolate stuff, and then of course, yes, he comes with Gav's sword because we're doing this again. We broke this trend with Gotchard. Gotchard came with his gun, and then Gav didn't come with his sword, and then now we're back to the sword comes with the P Bandai Figuart. He's not too expensive though. Yeah, $75 isn't horrible, but still. AR said I got the Kamen Rider AF Valen. Yeah, the Kamen Rider action figure line has been pretty good. I might get the Gavin Valen from that
They're
instead.
surprised. Yeah, they're surprisingly really good. Like, yeah,
Same scale too, and they're a lot cheaper. All right,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Spider-Man Noir and Spider-Ham from across the across the Spider-Verse. Machine translation. He's P Bandai in Japan. He hasn't got up on P Bandai US, so it'll probably be retail here like the last couple Spider-Verse Figuarts have been. It's nice for him to finally come out. Spider-Ham comes with some alternate parts, so you can pose him. He is a static figure with alternate pieces. Yes, he basically is a Nindoroid.
God, I'll never forgive myself. Where I saw the Legends Noir and Ham figure once at Target, I go, oh, like I couldn't afford it at the time. I'll go like, oh, the Target, this goes, I can find him again. Never again.
Yeah, that was like the one. That was like him, Black Widow, and Warbird are like the only Target exclusives to actually sell.
Like, yep. I still want a Noir in my collection. I'm not gonna.
I have a feeling he's gonna come back around since he's gonna be in Beyond, and maybe he'll come back around because of his show.
Or a comic figure, at the very least.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get another Spider-Man Noir from Marvel Legends this year because of the show.
Yeah, because I love Noir, comic, movie. I love Noir so much.
All right.
I do want to try a wire clock cloak like this, but they'll never for Hasbro.
Probably not, but we never know. We'll see. We got so the Dragon Ball poll ended, and the characters getting re-released are the characters you would have expected. Broly.
Which I still want these two. I still want these two because I want them. But like, I kind of wish it wasn't them that weeks. To me, Broly and Cooler, which we could get to, I feel like I feel like they just re-released them.
They would have re-released them anyways. They didn't need a poll to re-release them.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, geez, most popular movie villains right there.
Yeah,
always appear in every video game.
Because like I voted for like Mr. Satan and like Tao Pai Pai, and like figures that are kind of harder to get. That are like
I vote for Great Saiyaman. Like
Great Saiyaman. Yeah, I also voted for him.
I mean, I can't.
That's true. Spin Dash said, to be fair to Japan, America had 3 versions of Z Broly, but they only had the original. That is true.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
They did not get the other versions. They were convention exclusives here.
Also, I'm surprised. $90. I am legitimately shocked. He's only $90.
Yeah, you think they would have?
That's like, which I know that's insane to say. $90 isn't that much, huh? But like, oh no, I feel like he would be like 100 something because it's big and Poke and Broly. I forget. So the way Tamashi does or pre-Bandai US does their pre-order, because he's available US, right?
Yep, available in the US. You pay for it up front, and the shipping's $10 flat rate.
I might get him this week then.
You probably got because it says that there's no closing date, but these usually don't sell out. These usually don't sell out like right away unless you're like which one? There was one figure that sold out like quick.
Was it Full Power Frieza?
No, it was One Wheels one. Oh, it was a Kamen Rider Tycoon Bujin sword.
Okay, the Kamen Rider gets sold out. Maybe because they have low quantities, I guess. Because I do have the Dragon Star Broly. I think he's a fine figure, but like the Figuart Broly is one of those like legendary Figuarts to hear nothing but fantastic things about, and I do like Real Z Broly. Like first movie specifically.
Yeah.
Z Broly. I mean, I prefer Super Broly much better, but like I like Z Broly still.
Spin Dash also said that Japan's doing a survey for those American exclusive edition repaints. Maybe they'll do more re-releases of those over there for their sake. Yeah, that might be good too.
Be good. But yeah, I mean, yeah, $90 again. Like that's a steal. Honestly, to me, that's a steal.
Especially how much this figure's been going for.
Yeah, so I'll probably get him.
Yep.
Yeah, because
I might buy Cooler because I have a problem. I like Cooler a lot.
Yeah, same. I love Cooler. I
have the anime heroes and the Dragon Stars, and he's really good.
Yeah, he's a good figure. I love that figure, but like I love Cooler no matter. Like Cooler's one of the characters like I'll pick up no matter what kind of figures.
What do you think, Cassie? Do you want Cooler?
Nah, I mean I like him.
Cool. I'm glad we had dissenting opinion. That's what I was looking for.
But yeah,
I like him, but I'm not getting him.
I'm a Cooler. Yeah, I'm a Cooler fanboy. I've been since as a kid seeing him taking.
He's my second favorite movie villain.
Who's your first?
Bojack.
I mean, I also like Z Broly. But Bojack is. Oh man, they ain't making one, are they?
They're not. But if they make a Bojack, I'm buying it day one.
Will you want him to have cloth or no?
Sure, I'll take cloth. I always say cloth. Unless it's like something that really doesn't work in cloth, like I prefer cloth 9 times.
Bojack, hold on, let me see Bojack's design because I don't think everything needs to be cloth for him.
It's like jacket, right?
Because you think that it's upper torso.
Then again, would they just make full power Bojack? And
I don't want that one because I don't like full power. Full power Bojack's lame. He's just Green Hulk.
Okay.
Like when he still has his pirate motif.
Yeah.
I want his.
What if we get like Figuarts regular Bojack, Dragon Stars full power Bojack?
Actually no. He doesn't. Look at the design. I don't think he really needs the cloth good because his jacket doesn't look like it gets in the way that much.
Spin Dash wants Bojack's Teen Gohan in the Orange Geek. I think they could make a.
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
I think they could make a killing on a Bojack line, right? Like do Zangya. Like people love Zangya.
I know. I mean, one of the most popular third party figures out right now is the Bojack Trunks.
Yeah.
Look.
Bojack Trunks. Bojack Gohan. Bojack. Zangya.
His boulder sized shoulders.
Exactly. Like, when they finish, like what arc, whatever arc they're currently doing,
we're currently in Cell, and tell Bojack's part of Cell.
Exactly. When they finish that, they should be doing like a whole Bojack line. It would sell.
I'm always surprised how not much movie stuff they've done. Because I think, Broly and Cooler are the only two movie
and Metacooler.
And Metacooler the only, which is super cooler. Like they're the only movie villains they've done. Not counting like the canon movie stuff like
Turles.
Oh yeah, they did. So they, which is still not a popular one.
Yeah.
There's no
Dr.
There's no
Wheelo,
Janemba.
there's no
No
Garlic
Janemba.
Jr., there's
Hey, surprised no Janemba.
Janemba,
Janemba's like
yeah.
Janemba's like the other popular one. I'm surprised they haven't done yet.
And we haven't done non-canon Gogeta either.
You're right. Yeah, they only done Super. I'm like, wait, you're right. Yeah, I had to think about that. I was like, you're right.
Because Anime Heroes, I mean, God, I keep doing it.
Dragon Stars.
Dragon
yeah,
Stars did Janemba and Gogeta like twice.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's get the rest of this done.
Well, I mean, the last thing is your favorite.
Well, first of all, Guts from
Guts.
Berserk. This is the I want to call him more classic Guts.
From my understanding, I need Guts.
Cows.
Yeah.
Guts.
It's Hawks, so I believe it's when he's with the band of the Hawks.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. From what
That's
I know,
what it says,
it's like earlier part of the series.
Yeah.
Pre-punish. AR, how's Dragon Star Dream? Really good.
Great.
I have him.
He's a
He's a
great
really good figure.
Yeah. This Guts looks nice. I think it looks really good. Golden Age Guts.
Yeah.
Everyone's calling it Golden Age. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I know the first Guts figure was very rough, but like I heard the armor one was really good, and so I think this one would be better than the first release Guts. Also, he has a cloth wire cape, which is really nice.
It is nice to see.
I love cloth wire. I need to see more of that.
All right, you guys ready for the last thing?
All right, fanboy Santa, go.
It's SH Monster Art Stardust Dragon going up for pre-order on February 3rd. He's a retail release.
Aren't
Look
you
at him.
glad they're doing these monster arts for Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh,
He's at retail.
He's retail. I'm finally gonna get to buy a Monster Arts Yu-Gi-Oh character.
aren't you
see
so,
this
I'm
wallet?
so glad they're doing these.
You see this wallet I have, guys? Why even have that? Why? I'm just gonna buy this because like
I see you just chucking it at Stardust Dragon.
He'll give Rip a shreds because how pointy he is.
Yes, it is. He's fully articulated. Look, the wings have like a ton of joints in them, so he can just like splay out. He's fully posable. He comes with a stand. He has his effect part.
So
I love this.
All right, time to synchro something. All right, do it.
So you guys
Synchro.
He is 530 millimeters length, and his approximate wing size is 380 millimeters. Hold on, I'm gonna do that millimeters inches. How's that?
All for the low price of 15,000 yen.
Which right now is
Meals at the very end of the stream.
And you have summoned Stardust Warrior.
Yeah.
So that's 14 inches of wingspan, people.
Yes. Kyle said exactly. Money is overrated. Who needs groceries when you can have Monster Art Stardust Dragon?
What happens when you have your signs all aligned, man? The Crimson Dragon allows me to enter.
Can't you
I do I see Psycho O's mention. I really do hope he's not like
Angelmon, where you have to have like I'm hoping he's sturdier.
He's going to be. No, he's not going to be sturdy.
Because
I mean,
look
at him.
Arts, right?
Okay. I mean, also look at him.
Okay, well, how was Red Eyes Black Dragon?
None of the dragons are sturdy as shit, from what I've been told.
So yeah, that's the reason it comes with a stand with four.
I've heard that none of the dragons are good. I've heard like they're great detailed.
What if he is the one to break the curse?
He ain't gonna.
I mean,
he's too spindly.
Well, the thing is too is there's no way he can stand without the stand because it's just the design.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way.
It's not like a fault of the monster art as much as it is the fault of the design.
Really... Okay, part of it is the monster arts. Let's not lie. Lie to ourselves.
But what I'm hoping for, he's not going to have the issue that the problem with Angelwoman is her insanely heavy pink thing.
And she's also
her sash. That should have been
she's also really fragile.
And she becomes fragile because the thing is that thing is like weighted plastic for some reason. It drags on her all the time. This guy is just kind of traditional dragon like elements. So like once you get him up there, you should be good. If I bump Angelwoman, she's collapsing and then she's gonna break.
Like other Stardust dragons could stand on their own. This one can't.
Because
like
monster arts,
what
right?
It's shooting. Yeah, dude, monster arts.
Like King Ghidorah, like your King Ghidorah.
Like monster arts and Yu-Gi-Oh don't combine. It's like. It's not a good idea. Like they're like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh monster cards should be monster arts. No, if they were Figuarts, they'd actually use lighter plastics and be a little bit cheaper, but probably hold their weight.
But then also maybe not because Angelwoman.
True, but
Yeah.
But I do think a lot more of the dragons would be able to stand a lot better because knowing.
I definitely think I
my-
wouldn't want to have them not on a stand. So as
Dark-
long as the
Dark-
stands
this
are
is-
can work with it, you
Dark,
know.
Dark
So,
Vision's
guys,
not out
this is a
yet,
theory
right?
that I've had for a
Right.
while. This is actually a theory I've had for a while, so I'm going to spitball it here.
Dougie says,
before
would
I
a
pass it
Figuarts
to-
standard be more sturdy? Not necessarily, but he'd be lighter.
I think he will actually be sturdy because he would just be light and
Yeah,
there'd be no
lightweight. Yeah.
Before I tell this to Metal on Wednesday, I'm throwing it to you guys. Do you guys think that one of the issues that we're having with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster Arts and the figures is that they're being too stylized to be based on like the card arts versus their anime appearance? 'Cause
I think they're.
some of the issues is
I'm gonna tell
if
you.
they
I
were
think
more
the license is for the card art. I don't think the license is for the anime.
because I was gonna say if it had the
Well,
anime
we have the
proportions,
Yugi.
I think it would be a little bit
We have the
sturdier.
Yugi coming out.
We have the Yugi coming out, but the thing is, I noticed with the if you look at the Reveltech Junk Warrior, very much the anime design. The Monster Arts Stardust Dragon,
Oh, wait.
very much the
No,
card
wait.
art.
Wait, isn't Dark Magician in his anime colors? Because doesn't the card art have different colors for?
It
Okay.
did, but they
And-
changed it. Like they've changed it nowadays.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
what
they're more
happened was
anime colors
now.
in the manga, it did have like a bluish color or whatever.
Yeah, the blue face and blonde
Mhm.
hair.
Yeah,
Blonde hair,
if you
right?
think like the pale green skin and the blue, like they still use that for a lot of the card arts, but yeah, they're using I think the anime colors because they know it won't sell. Because this and the Dark Side Dimensions redesign are like the two colors that fans prefer now.
Yeah. That's a good point. Spin Dash brought up what logos are on the box. Let me go pull up Monster Arts. Yeah, no, Monster Arts Blue Eyes has the anime logo.
Is it
I think
between
there's nothing
Dual
but
Was
the
it Dual
anime
Monster? Because
logo.
it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Was it Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Monsters?
I think it has.
anime?
Is that the Dual Monsters logo? I'm gonna wait for you guys to see it, but I think it's the Dual Monsters logo.
Yes, that's the subtitle underneath. That's the
Yeah.
No, that's the regular Duel Monsters one. That's the one that you see in the title of
Yeah, so it
Warriors.
is the anime ones then. It's
Yeah, because I think if it was just Yu-Gi-Oh, like the card game, I think it would just be the logo
yeah.
alone.
Yeah, because look, if you look at Flame Wingman, he also has the GX logo. So they are based on the anime, but in the way that like the Kaiju number 8 figure arts are based on the anime, but are kind of manga-esque. Like that's
But
probably
I can tell
an
you,
element.
Stardust doesn't have much of a problem though because he's from the CGI era.
Yeah.
Where a lot of if I recall, most of the dragons were all CG.
Yes, they were.
Versus like the other characters where they were obviously drawn 2D.
Right. I will say I'm so excited for it though. Regardless of
I know this is
the
this- other
QC
than
the
Dark
QC
Magician,
will
this is
always
probably gonna
that'll
the
be a
only other
thing
one.
when I review it, but like I'm still getting it because when are you ever else gonna get a Stardust Dragon, right?
I
Exactly.
mean, you have your Rebels like
but
you
we
say.
know we know though if there is a Stardust, there's going to be that Crimson SOB.
Yes.
Gotta love. You have a Rebel Tech. You say Playmate Spike, Rebel Tech Junk Warrior,
And Monster
Lu-
Arts Stardust Dragon.
Dragon. The complete fighties package.
It only
Now we
took
just need some
3
of the
separate
synchrons.
companies.
Now we just need some Synchrons. Oh, good thing they made those and like
Oh, also those
PVC
are
figures.
those were technically not Rebel Tech,
Kyoto.
but they were Kyoto figures for the
They're
set.
Kyoto
yeah,
still, yeah.
Mega.
And then throw your Funko Pop. Sorry, that's also a secondary.
Yeah. There's a Funko Pop Black Rose Dragon coming out.
There you go. So yeah, Funko, the collaboration of Funko, Tamashi, Kyoto, and Playmates.
You had to get the like the artifact statue of Aki, right? And then like it starts getting into like crazy things.
Oh,
It's like
Speaking of crazy Yu-Gi-Oh things, me and Jerry accidentally, last night I showed Jerry. So last night I accidentally found one of the actual character and toy designers for Capsule Monsters, as well as allegedly transitioning the cards to the GX anime. So he was like this guy that they brought in that was like the designer for the Capsule Monster toys, like the Yugi frickin' monster armors that him and Joey had, like Blue Eyes, Blackluster Soldier, and like
Oh,
he
I
was
remember this, yeah.
he was promoting the figures, and I showed Jerry, and Jerry was like, "Yo, are these figures rare?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they're like the rarest ones in the toy."
Yeah, I
line."
remember them. The
Yeah.
figures of Joey and Yugi that
the ones that had the armor for the
Yes.
Dragon Sword, yeah.
Well, there were
Yeah.
toys. There
No,
were
it's not the
toys
Waking the
where,
Dragon. It's the
Capsule
arc.
Monster?
It's the
you want me
Capsule
to
Monster.
link it so Ryan can see?
Was it the capsule?
yeah,
Yeah,
let's-
yeah,
yeah,
link it because I'll put it on stream too.
Because it's the toy.
Yeah.
Supposedly he's the toy
Here
designer,
it is.
and he was one of the anime
Stream chat.
character designers or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, these were for Capsule Monsters. I was thinking of the other ones that were for the.
No,
for
yeah,
the
you're thinking of the
dragons.
one of Big Bang Blow and Blow Bang
There we go.
and like I don't know how that guy got away with all of those sexual innuendo moves with Blow Bang, Gang Bang.
There was a lot of Bang before Bang Bravern existed.
Mattel-
There was
Mattel-
I'm
Mattel
pretty sure
stole
there was even
Digimon-
like
Digimon
an armory
Frontier.
part that said bangbros.com. Like I don't know.
Mattel saw Digimon Frontier, so that we can do that too.
Yeah, it basically is like they had the pedestals and everything, and the static figures that you put the armor onto.
And these were hard to find.
Yeah,
I legit
I
saw
mean,
them once in the
they're
store.
clearly hard to find. They didn't have the third one, even for the designer, right? Because there's a third one. There's a Dark Magician Yugi down there.
Yeah, well, that was just an image he found, I guess, from somebody else.
Yeah.
Because remember, Capsule
And there's
Monster was
supposed to be a
made
Black
for
Luster
the
Soldier
West,
one,
right?
I think, too. I think there was 4 of them.
Capsule Monster was a Western thing, right? Like it was a 4Kids commission.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Gallop?
it was one of those... Okay, so what
Yeah,
happened...
I
this
thought
is
he
the
was saying
funniest
Capsule
story.
Monsters. I was so confused.
This is the
Okay,
funniest
Capsule
thing about
Monsters. That makes
Capsule
more sense.
Monsters. So the Capsule Monsters anime was weirdly
I
made by
received
4
360 yen. Woo!
kids. 4 kids wanted it. But the funny thing was this didn't make it to North America until after all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ended and 5Ds was already on... No, GX was already on the air. So, like, all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, like, pretty much done, if I recall, and wrapped up on Kids WB, as well as, like, the Fox box. And then, like, the DVDs for Capsule Monsters showed up as being, like, this all-original anime OVA home
was
video
it like
thing.
Capsule
And then
Monsters the movie when it first came out? or
Yeah,
something like
it was
Yeah,
like
it was
Capsule
compiled. It was
Monsters, the
it
movie
was
parts
12
1 and 2.
episodes, and they did 2 movies that compiled 6 episodes each.
Yeah,
As the DVD
but what
release,
happened
yeah.
was, like, by the time it finally aired on television, the compilations had already been out.
Mhm.
And, like, we were, like, I think into, like, the Sartorius, the Light arc, and that. But, like, the airing order is supposed to be, like, Capsule Monsters is, like, after Waking the Dragons, but before the Dawn of Duel, supposedly,
Yeah.
in syndication re-airing.
In official chronological, it's before Dawn of Duel.
Was
Yeah.
it season 5? Was it?
Yeah, it was in season 5.
Yeah, but
That's
the
the way
thing-
that
but
the
the
new
thing is-
video group DVDs put them in order too. They put
Yeah,
it before.
But
Dawn
the
of
funny
Duel.
thing is they came so late that, like, it was already over. We already aired. And I think
the other thing
this was
too with
commissioned was
Capsule
because they were
Monsters,
behind.
I think the thing with Capsule Monsters as well is they also tried to launch a board game off of it,
Okay, yeah, that's
They
what I
tried
remember,
to.
remember.
and it
Okay.
didn't make it out
Because
to
it was
all
already, like, a
stores. Like
video.
I never saw it in my stores. It
I
never went.
don't think I think I only saw the video game version of it. And
Yeah, and the
it
video
was
game
like-
version was
and-
based on the manga Capsule Monsters game, not
Yeah,
the one from
the-
the
okay.
anime.
It's like a giant
No,
rabbit hole.
this
Yes.
This is the weird part. So this is the weird part. Capsule Monsters in the manga had, like, 2 different versions. The one with the egg, and then
Mhm.
the one with the egg was the PlayStation one, which was like a remake of the Game Boy game or
Yep.
whatever. And the Capsule Monsters anime arc was just pretty much promoting the pieces because we were gonna get the board game that was like a fine retooling of the Japanese. It's really confusing. It's one of those things where I do kind of wish Yu-Gi-Oh was still able to play the idea that Takahashi wanted by just making a bunch of multimedia games with the monster brands, but they all ultimately
yeah.
failed because
Banesh
cards
is
were
right.
popular.
The original Capsule Monster games in the upcoming Early Days collection, like the one from the Japanese.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
The
right.
Japanese Monster Capsule
I'll see the
version
trailer for
that
it.
they then later took and turned into the Capsule Monster game we had here. But yeah, no, it's the thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's very a little messy, isn't it?
Oh, it's so messy.
Did you know about that
because-
one PS1 game that was before the card game?
Yes. That was back when it was using manga stuff for the basis, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. The thing with Capsule Monsters that's funny is that it's not as talked about as like the Metarex saga for Sonic X when they had the same origin.
Well, that
Yeah, that's it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster Capsule, Breed and Battle,
it
1998. That's it.
was Ultimate Muscle's final arc, Sonic X Season 3, yeah, and Capsule Marvel was the big the 3 like commissioned by 4
Plus
kids.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. This is actually the second
Oh,
commission
right.
work. Yeah, I
Oh,
keep forgetting
you know-
Pyramid of Light was actually made
Guys,
for 4
Since
kids.
Ryan brought this up, you know what's funny? Do you know that Ultimate Muscles fans have like a whole bunch of copium? Because
Speaking of, I gotta watch more Ultimate Muscle.
four kids obviously commissioned more episodes of that anime because for some reason the
It was
executives
popular
at 4
here,
Kids,
but not
it
so
was
much.
so no. This is the funny part. I
remember,
did a
right.
little
What
bit more
happened?
digging. It was
Okay,
it
what
was just
happened?
popular enough, but the people at 4 Kids liked it more. That they were like, you know what, we'll just allegedly Jerry they MD Geist it.
Oh,
Like,
Big
we
O
like
did.
the show.
Big
Yeah,
O.
pretty much. It was
guys
just doing.
pushed it for
Yeah,
SummerSlam, but like not
but
really.
the thing is,
even-
but what happened was most fans of Ultimate Muscle have the belief that it had really good ratings over here. No, it was just successful enough, and they liked the show enough, and they found out the show was canceled that they commissioned them to finish the show.
Just like Big
they
O.
found
That's
out.
exactly what happened to Big
Yeah.
O.
It's exactly
Yeah, when Big
what
O
happened
aired
to Big
here,
O.
they were like, "Oh, there's actually an audience. We should get the rest of the show made." And that's how the second half of Big O got made.
Yeah, but the way that the Ultimate Muscle fans think
Yeah.
of it is that it was super, super popular here, that we got more episodes. But it was allegedly, no, someone in 4 Kids saw that it was doing just enough that they could technically
It
go,
helps. I mean,
"Let's
it
put some
helps
money
that
to it."
Ultimate Muscle's one of their better dubs because it's already better dubs.
Yeah,
those
no,
dubs.
but the thing is, their fans have hard copium because they don't realize that, like, it's kind of a bubble. That the show isn't, like, there are fans of Kinnikuman, but they don't like Ultimate Muscle. And they're like, "What are you talking about? It's super popular." And they're like, "No, you're, like, the minority."
Yeah,
Definitely.
it was popular enough, but it wasn't like a mega hit. So,
Mhm.
I'm ready to wrap the stream up though because we've
Yeah.
gone on a long time.
Hey,
It's like
whoa,
news day.
Sound Out. You said you don't like when people tell you what to do, so we got to go longer now.
But I want to turn it. I want to end the stream.
I'm making the joke. I'm making the joke, Sound Out. I'm making the joke.
I know Spider-Is Prime was also like, "Can we end the stream?" But I also I also want to end the stream.
No, I'm making the joke though, Sound Out. The joke that you said. No, when you tell me to move on, I'm gonna keep going.
I know. I typically do that. I have like a little bit of a contrarian brain at times. But in the point I'm making is that I do want to wrap up because I'm tired. I
head off and I have work.
He's got work. Kaus had a long day. He was out.
I got lots. I was out all day. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me at Dark Saber Tree on YouTube and Blue Sky. I do arguments on the One You See very channel, and I'm actually posting more art on my Blue Sky in general. So, if you want any, feel free to DM me on Blue Sky or Sounds or Discord, Sounds Discord protocol, in the link in the description below. I have to head out now, so everyone have a nice day.
Go head out. All right.
Kaus, what's up? What you doing? You doing things tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna stream something. KOF. Something. Depending on what happens, we may switch to something else, but definitely starting with KOF.
Cool.
Tuesday tomorrow, 4 p.m. Twitch.tv/FighterCounts. You'll be there, hopefully. You usually are.
I should be. Nothing should impede me tomorrow.
And Virtual Fighter 5
we'll find a way.
Revo did come out, but I don't know if I have it, which is the problem.
So Cower64 asked what was the best Digimon, which Digimon season had the best toy line, and I answered with my legitimate, honest opinion, the Atmon toy line. And just for silly wife was like, "Drop that heated Digimon comic at the stream and diabolical." Yes, I will not be elaborating on this at this time.
I mean, Atmon did have probably the best toy line in Japan.
I think so because out of all of the toy lines, it's the one that actually completed.
Released everything.
It released everything. None of the others did.
We all know the best toy line, at least in America, was actually the PBC figures because they almost released like every character that was available in Japan in complete sets, and you didn't have to go.
But
to
Atmon released all the in-show used chips. It released all the figures minus the God Atmon, which can't be made as figures because of their designs. Like they made everything. They made everything.
Like you almost got me into it.
Yep.
Like you almost tricked my ass into buying.
Hey, some of those Atmon toys are really rare and hard to get, and if you
No, we're not doing this again. We're not trying this again. Get me in.
Wheels, did you want to promote
over.
the Hero Club streams?
Yeah, okay, you gotta go check out Hero Club. Go check out our website, hero-club.com. Sound Out put the link to it in the chat. Weirdly enough, some other Power Ranger groups found out about our work with Darren, and they're like promoting the hell out of us and like sourcing us now for content and like sharing our stuff, which is hilarious as hell.
At least they're sourcing
that,
us
like-
instead of just taking it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. They're like a couple of groups are like, holy crap, we didn't know this stuff existed, and we're like literally, you, me, and Darren are just like, yeah, we've been here for like 2 years, bro.
Yep.
We've been here.
All
Like,
right.
like when he popped up, we were like, hey, go check it out. So go check out our site, hero-club.com. Follow us across social media using Hero Club for Life. We stream Wednesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv. And go check out our YouTube channel for all of our interviews, because we got an upcoming one with Jeff Nimoy.
Yep.
And my God, if you thought the Tom Fawn and Dorothy Fawn one was hilarious and insane, the Jeff Nimoy one can get pretty demonetizable.
We're in debate as to what we have to cut out of it at the moment. So
We don't. At some point, I think we just need to
But
mute.
before they
and
do,
just
they need to
put
show me the whole
on-
thing so I can at least.
Oh no! Oh yeah, there's.
it's coming.
Let's
Like,
just-
we recorded like 3 hours with Jeff Nimoy. It's gonna take us a little bit to get
Jeff
it out.
Jeff
but-
Nimoy was like, so, we were like, let's just give them the joke that didn't make it into the recording, where we were like, hey sir, how long do we have you for this interview? And he's like, well, there's 2 options. You either have me till tomorrow at 1 p.m. or until I finish this bottle of wine. And we were like, bet.
Yep. It's gonna be great. If Muteki says keep the whole thing, we might have to do like something.
No,
where
we're probably keeping the whole thing for the
Yeah.
most part, but we are censoring
we're gonna have to
words
censor
that
some words
are not
because YouTube.
YouTube
We don't want to
friendly.
get taken down, but we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna cut anything. I think we're just gonna.
You feel like beep beep Agumon.
Yeah.
Like let's just I think what we have to. I think the
Think
only
about
part is when he talks about how his movie talks about very hot topics about life and
basically
and
he
depression.
didn't say unalive, and so now we have to kind of go in and do a little. We'll just
Yes.
mute him. I don't even think I'm gonna put a beep sound. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna mute
yeah.
him.
We're just gonna put
like when Dorothy
Vir-
Fawn was upset at Princess Miyu being a
Oh
shitty
wait,
character.
sound out. I know what we're gonna do. Every time he says unalive,
Yeah.
what we're gonna do is we'll put over it a sound effect of like Tentomon. Like we'll just put over like
we're gonna do
an
something. Yeah,
electroshocker.
yeah. We got that. Just gave me some ideas of we could just every time
Exactly. No.
time he says it, he just says prodigious in Tentomon's voice instead.
Yeah, exactly. Prodigious intentionally, or we just put Conchome sound effects over there. I mean, like I think
Either way, we do need to wrap up because my throat's starting to go. But stay tuned for that.
Maybe you
right?
should need to drink more water.
I ran out of water
Okay,
like
got
an
it.
hour ago, so
Maybe you should refill it from the tap.
I will, but I have to end the stream to do that.
Drink your pee.
No. Anyways, there's videos this week. Enjoy them. No rundowns this week. I need another week to do stuff, so maybe next week. And we'll see y'all for next week's stream. Bye, everybody.